details.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
This is the Adam Gold Show.
2nd and 11 at the Virginia 12. Snap left hashes, blitzes on, he's free. Bailey eludes it, runs to the right, has Green, no one there at the 10, and he scampers in. Bailey, touchdown, Packs on top. From the 9, snap, Bailey, handoff, Smothers breaks a tackle now at the 5, makes a cut up the middle, touchdown. Hollywood Smothers scores again. 34-31 Pack, 45 seconds left third quarter. NC State marches down the field and scores again.
Hi, everyone. It's the Adam Gold Show. Yeah, I'm here today. I mean, I was here yesterday, but I wasn't here.
Right, you're in the studio.
Yesterday.
So people, no one's talked about in the stream yet that you're not there.
That's right. You mentioned stream.
Uh-huh.
Two little bits of business to take care of. The first is you can always watch the show. And I saw some video of like highlights of the show yesterday. The kind of a dark studio with the Adam Gold Show logo with the lights shining on. We didn't have a lot of bright lights in here. And I guess there were Panthers takes, so there were Panthers logos on either side of the main screen. And not me. No me here.
No.
But highlights of the show. Did the show remotely yesterday. So there, but you can watch the show on YouTube. And the easiest way to do that is simply go to YouTube and search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. And you can get to it that way. Or you can go to your iPhone or your iPad and download. I realize we're all over the state, so I apologize to other outlets. You know, if you're listening to us in Asheville or in Wilmington or in wherever you listen to us, go to the App Store and download the 99.9 The Fan app. Yeah. It's brand new. I think it dropped after the show was over yesterday.
Yeah, I think so. But we finally have one. We have an app.
And this is how easy it is. You simply download the app. It's free. Best price.
Mm-hmm.
And you get what you pay for. Huh?
I like free.
And you can, you could just push little icon in the app and watch the show on YouTube.
Exactly.
We're making it easy.
I know. My mom is really going to appreciate that.
Is she?
Even though I think she's got it locked down. She knows how to find us.
Yeah, my mother-in-law's all over it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
Just give a little wink up to the cottage in Wisconsin.
We're there.
So download the app. Super easy to navigate. Even I can do it. And I'm below the caveman on that scale. One of our former engineers here, Will, miss him to death.
Yeah.
Love Will. I was telling him that because I did the show yesterday from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one more thing to say about that. But I doing the show yesterday from home, and we had no issues, right?
No.
Because I changed the way we bring internet into the house.
That's good.
Finally, and not to give him a plug, but Spectrum was made available because I'm not in a subdivision. We have we're a standalone house on the side of US 15, and why am I giving my address? And whatever. So anyway, but they're running cable up and down 15, so we can get it now.
Mm. Oh,
and
that must be nice.
Exactly.
I'm in a subdivision that doesn't have that, so
there you go.
Yeah,
my in-laws are in a subdivision, and they get it. But we were not.
Yeah.
So we didn't get it. So anyway, we're getting it now, and like my internet is legit at home now, as opposed to what it used to be.
What's that like?
Exactly right. So we had no problems. So he asked me, are they running fiber or is it coax? I just responded, Will,
Excuse you?
did you think that I would ever have any idea what you were talking about?
What language was that?
Are you serious? I'm an idiot. I have no clue. I just know that the internet is good.
Just as long as it's working, everyone's happy.
I know the internet is good. The line was good yesterday. Yeah. Shouts to steroids.
Oh, there you go.
It's going to start the show with that.
There you go.
Big ups to steroids.
Yeah.
No joke. I was starting to feel it Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it would be as bad when I got up Tuesday, but it was bad when I went to sleep Monday, and I really didn't get a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
And a little steroid injection.
There you go.
Boom.
Exactly.
Got me going.
Does the weather change? Does that impact you? Is that
nah.
Because we know some people that it's like as soon as it shifts,
it doesn't bother me. The weather doesn't change my health.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole thing, my whatever. We don't have to get into it. It's gross. So, but steroids work.
Yes.
Which is why they're illegal in sports.
Exactly.
Because they work.
Mm-hmm.
So, shouts to prednisone.
It's a thing.
All right, one more thing before we start. Because I found this out. I found this morning when I was scrolling through Twitter, waiting for my son to get ready to go to school. Kate Winslet follows me on Twitter. It happened overnight. I see it because it'll tell you sometimes who your new follows are.
Right.
Kate Winslet follows me on Twitter. Do you have?
That's a curveball.
Right. And I was like, wait, it's unverified, which is fine. I'm unverified. I used to have a blue check. I don't anymore because I don't pay for it.
Yeah, I don't.
And so Kate Winslet does not have a blue check.
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, is somebody masquerading as Kate Winslet?
Right.
But I went to the Twitter feed, and I'm like, no, that's Kate Winslet.
Nope, it's real.
So, but it's probably not.
Yeah.
Kate Winslet, it's probably
her
PR person.
Yeah.
But still.
Hey.
Because I answered I just responded to I follow all the right movies on Twitter, which is if you're a movie buff, it's a great follow. And if you're not really a movie buff, but you like movies.
Yeah.
It's cool. So I commented on a Kate Winslet item, and that's obviously why Kate Winslet is following me on Twitter. But just so you know, you can't tell me anything today.
You're right.
Because Kate Winslet.
Exactly.
Now, if Natalie Portman ever follows me on Twitter, I might not come in that day.
Yeah.
So.
You'll be busy. You're sick again.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Does anybody like that follow you on Twitter?
So I went to go dive through it, and I mean, I don't have like a Rolodex of followers, but I don't have any weirdos, at least not that I know about. It's a lot of MMA people. So
okay.
I thought
that would work.
There might be one of the refs that follow me or something.
Does Dana White follow you on Twitter?
No, he should though.
He should.
I know.
He should.
I tag him in things sometimes.
So are we doing MMA minutes? Are you going to bring those back?
I would like to.
Those would be great for the app.
I would love to. So yeah, I mean that'd be great.
We're going to unveil a new segment today.
I know.
We're going to play the market with NFL teams. We should put that as a standalone bit.
It should be
on the all of those things should be standalone bits on the
app. Good stuff.
So
exactly.
as I tease that, let me just say that anybody can take part in this. As of right now, there's no prize. We don't have prizes to give you. We haven't given out a prize in I don't know how long.
It's been a minute since we had mugs.
Yeah, we're out of mugs.
We're out of mugs.
I mean, I have one in the house. I can bring that in. That's it. We have no mugs. We have no tumblers. We have no T-shirts left.
No.
I think there's like
stickers.
a triple X T-shirt.
Maybe. I don't know. I know I have one that I sleep in.
Yeah, my Aileen wears it. She wears it in the barn, which probably tells you everything you need to know. And my kid's old history teacher, who I gave a shirt, however many years ago, he was in 7th grade at the time, so 5 years ago, I gave him a T-shirt, and I met him for coffee recently.
Oh.
Shouts to Linwood Cleveland Harp Jr. Love that man so much. We met for coffee about a month ago, and he shows up wearing the T-shirt.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
Love it.
I don't need the ego stroke, but I'm glad he wears it proudly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we don't have those. We don't have
No.
anything to give away.
Just a pat on the back.
But real quick,
Just kudos.
am I hopped up on the prednisone already?
Maybe. That's
I
okay.
might be.
It's a hump day.
Whew.
So it'll get us on the other end of the week.
I hope I can do 3 hours like this.
I was going to say, is it going to last the whole 3 hours? if Colt's in the bathroom for a second, it's
I'm
like,
good.
oh,
I'm
need
fine.
another dose.
I'm fine. No, I can't. Twice a day.
Oh,
Twice
okay.
a day.
It's a
Yeah,
limit.
just one in the morning, one at night.
Just
That's
busting
it.
through doors
I
here.
just wonder if I'm going to sleep. So, what were we talking about now? Like my train of thought's gone.
I was going to say, is it going to go back to Kate Winslet?
No, it's not. We're not going back to Kate Winslet. Let's just start. It'll come back.
You were talking about our new segment not having any prizes.
Yes. No prizes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No prizes, but if you want to partake, then it's open. Just my email is very readily available. If it's not on my Twitter feed, I could just say it's agold@999thefan.com. It's pretty simple. agold@999thefan.com. And we are going to do a stock market style segment where we're going to pick teams. I'm going to use the FanDuel odds to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
There's 8 divisions.
Yep.
I think it probably gives us the most room for some movement in the lines, breaking it down by 8 divisions. And you get up to 25 shares. And how much the line moves each week will determine whether you are up or down. You don't have to win the division. If you pick a division winner, great. But you don't have to win the division. Anyway, you can sell or buy at any time, but all you get is 25 shares. So you can move those around. Mm-hmm. You can take as many teams you want. I don't care. But email me at agold@999thefan.com. Email me. You get 25 shares.
Yeah.
Whatever breakdown you want, we use the FanDuel app for division winners. Whew. All right. No football last night.
I know.
Or was there? Hold on. We'll get to that in a minute. Or tonight. No football tonight either.
Mm-mm.
Wolfpack and the Demon Deacons, however, will open up the week's slate tomorrow night. Under Dave Doran, NC State is 6-6 against Wake Forest. You can assign whatever disappointment you want to that. This is obviously Jake Dickert's first in this run. For a long time, it was Dave Clawson was on the other side of the field, and Clawson's an elite football coach and now works for the ACC network. But under Doran, State is 6-6. And it really doesn't matter where this game is played. State's won 3 of the 6 in Winston-Salem. They have won 3 of the 6 in Raleigh. And this gets to just the nature of rivalries, really, in not just college sports, but in sports in general. When you play a team every year, like State and Wake have played, this is the 118th meeting. These things just have ways of being that way. So the only time since Doran came to Raleigh that this game was on a Thursday night was, I think, a year or maybe 2 years before the pandemic. It was in Raleigh, and Wake won that game. It doesn't really matter. There are always, it seems, a lot of points in these games. And that's where I wanted to get to. Because, and I mentioned this, we haven't talked a ton about State, but I mentioned it on Monday, and I think I probably brought it up yesterday as well, and I think I talked about it with the guys in Charlotte this morning. And we're, by the way, Kyle Bailey, right, is going to join us at 12:30 today.
He should be.
At Kyle Bailey Club. We're going to talk mostly Panthers. But I have wondered whether or not NC State can win Big 12-style games. And for those people who might not be aware of what Big 12-style games are, generally wild. Lots of points. And for me, the offensive personnel is definitely there to do that. You've got an elite quarterback. We'll get to more of C.J. Bailey in a minute. You've got an array of weapons. The offensive line looks at least good enough. And at least for now, you've got health. And I think without too much trouble, they put up 35 on Virginia. Without too much trouble. So my real question, and as Mike Glennon was leaving the station today, he and Tim Donnelly did an episode of
Pack Therapy
podcast. I floated this to him. I said they've got personnel. We talked about Bailey, but my one fear is that Dave Doran will not allow himself to leave the restrictor plates off. Actually, I brought it up with Ryan McGee yesterday. That's why I made the restrictor plate reference, because he's so ingrained in NASCAR. Will Dave Doran remove the restrictor plates and let his offense go? Because they have personnel. We're going to talk to Alec Lower of Trinity Road Times today, who does great work with video on their site. So that's my question about the Wolfpack. Because there is personnel to score a boatload of points. So, if they can do that, great. They were trailing by 10 points at the half to UVA. You guys all remember that. And Monday night on or Monday afternoon, Dave Doran talked about the mentality after half.
I love how poised the guys were. You know, we went in at halftime, and the players were great. Coaches made really good corrections and adjustments, and the players understood what we needed to do to get that game back on our side, playing our style of football.
Look, I don't know. They scored 3 straight times. 4, I don't know, whatever it was. 3 straight times, 4 straight. They scored 5 touchdowns in the game. I think it was 24-14 at half. So they scored 3 straight times and then held on for the win, which is fine. Like, their defense is going to be a bit of an issue. Holly, but real quick, because I mentioned C.J. Bailey. He was not in Charlotte. He didn't get much respect, love for the All-ACC teams. And we had like 6 All-ACC teams, whatever it was. And I'm not saying he should have. Like, it was going to be the same players that we expected it to be. But who's a better quarterback right now in the ACC? I mean, we have good quarterbacks. It's a great quarterback league. We know Castellanos is having a great start at Florida State. Darian Mensah, although there were a bunch of turnovers, is I think he's a dynamite quarterback for Duke. And there are really good quarterbacks. Cade Klubnik has not really kicked on. Carson Beck. Sorry about that. I'm in NC State mode. Carson Beck's been like, I don't know what he did against Bethune-Cookman, but I watched him against Notre Dame, and I thought Carson Beck was very good. I thought he had some moments where he was a little inaccurate, but I thought he was very good in that game. So I bring it back to Bailey because, to me, and as I was writing down some thoughts today, I said he has the look of a future All-ACC player. And then I went, that future could be now. It's not too early to change our thinking. But C.J. Bailey looks the part. And I think that is super exciting for NC State. On top of that, Hollywood Smothers, who I thought he was ineffective as a runner against East Carolina, to the point where we talked about it as being a concern for NC State, but not against the Cavaliers 4 days ago. He's also dangerous out of the backfield as well, and Dave Doran talked about it.
Hollywood's really a playmaker for us, and and gets in there. And obviously the untouched runs, there's great blocking, but then the stuff he's doing to get extra yards, making guys miss, running through contact, catching the football. Had a great catch, on a low throw that he turned into an explosive play. And Duke, same thing. He gets in the game and just creates yards for us.
I think Hollywood is another guy that could be, when we add it all up at the end, it's going to get onto a lot of all ACC teams. Again, got to stay healthy. But, man, he knows how to play, and he is talented. They have options at wide receiver, from Grimes to Rogers to Hoffman, Anderson. They haven't really gotten Justin Jolie going, who should be one of the best tight ends in the country. So, yeah, stay healthy. Let the offense breathe. Just relax. My biggest fear is that Dave Doran will get leads or find himself in position off of the occasional turnover to kind of pull the reins a little bit to make sure he gets something out of drives rather than, go out. He said at the beginning of the season, he said his goal was to score 31 a game. That number, why can't that number be 41 a game? Go pile up points. The biggest misnomer in football, not just college football, is that you win with defense. No, you don't. Not anymore. You win with offense. You want good defense, but you win with offense. Look at all the teams that win. They are winning with offense. In college, you can't stop it. No chance to stop a good offense in college. Not enough good cornerbacks. Not enough good coverage in college football to stop good offense. All right, short week for the Demon Deacons and the Wolfpack, but Dave Doran doesn't mind.
We've had a Thursday game coming out of training camp, a long prep getting ready for game 2, now a short prep for game 3. We have no routine, and that's our routine right now. It's different every week, and it's unique. You have less time to prepare as a coach. You have less time to recover as a player. You have less time to practice, less time for everything.
Yeah, but they'll get over that because they go back to Saturdays, I believe, for the foreseeable future. So they'll get into a routine. And by the way, State's next 3 games, at Duke, home against Virginia Tech, home against Campbell. This is not going to be easy tonight, or it's rather tomorrow night. Wake Forest has some dangerous players. They can run the football. And they have a couple of weapons on the outside. But I would favor State in this game, although rivalry, State's defensive issues, where they have good personnel, I think, at least enough good personnel, just hasn't come together as a unit yet. But if they can get through this, the opportunity presents itself for 6-0, and I realize that NC State fans just now drove off the road. Why is Gold saying that? Now we'll never go 6-0. Yes, because I would be the reason.
Right. Yeah.
But I understand why people would think that. Because when was I ever right? All right. By the way, we have one more game tomorrow night. Packers and Commandos tomorrow night as well. We'll talk a little bit about that maybe later on. All right, couple of things that I wanted to get to. First, I mentioned earlier that there was football last night, just not American football. U.S. men's national team played in Columbus, where they apparently never lose. They played against Japan, and for the first time under Mauricio Pochettino, they beat a top 20 international squad in Japan. They won 2-0. Goals from Alex Zendejas, who plays his soccer for Club America in Liga MX, and Flo Balogun, who plays in Ligue 1 in France, I think for Monaco. So they won 2-0. Played a different formation. I think everybody feels, we can win, because the match on Sunday against South Korea, or Saturday, whatever it was dreadful. They were outclassed by South Korea. So good to end this international window on a positive note. Anthony Rizzo's retiring. I thought you'd be all over this. I thought you would have a Rizzo T-shirt on, Victoria.
I know.
Do you have a Rizzo T-shirt?
Potentially. No, I don't think so. I don't think I do.
Well, he's retiring as a Cub.
I know he is.
Today.
I know. I missed him.
14 years in the big leagues. He
Should've
overcame
stayed with the
cancer,
Cubs.
didn't he? Was it he who overcame cancer early in his career?
Maybe.
I'll do a Google
That
search
may
on
not
that.
be something I'm aware of, but I don't know. I loved him on that team. I hated when he left.
They traded him to the Yankees.
Hated
Even
it.
worse, they traded him to the Yankees.
Hated
almost English.
it. Yeah, he should have stayed with the Cubs.
So, well, I guess that was his decision. They
Yeah.
had they knew they were going to have some contract issues, but he was
Brian
also coming to
Schwarber.
the end of his career.
That's the problem. It's always the contract problems. Like there was too many big guys on the same thing. They were heading out. So
Speaking of Schwarber,
golly, oh my gosh,
first National League player to hit
Yes.
50 home runs.
I love Schwarber too.
He will come up today in Place Your Bets. I
Nice.
promise.
Nice.
Promise. All right, and finally, I mentioned this earlier in the week. Jalen Carter. The NFL is essentially saying time served because he was out for the entirety of the first game against the Cowboys on that Thursday night. The NFL is treating that as the one-game suspension. They docked his pay for that game. He is not appealing the suspension, so the precedent is spit on your opponent, and it's a game. We can decide whether or not we think that's good enough or whatever. It is a one-game suspension for hocking a loogie at the opposing quarterback.
It's ridiculous.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kyle Bailey on the Panthers and more next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's time for our 12 o'clock keyword in our Sin City Skateaway, sponsored by MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb & Company. This hour's word is trip. Text TRIP to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a trip for two to Las Vegas and see Carolina play hockey against the Las Vegas Golden Knights next month. Again, this hour's word is trip. Good luck from 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader. Hi, it's Adam Gold for my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary, home of the original no closing cost mortgage. So why did Gordon invent the no closing cost mortgage? Because he recognized that closing costs were unnecessary. All you're doing by paying closing costs really is buying down the rate. So you can save about $50 a month on your mortgage. That's great, but it'll take 8 years of the rates never dropping for that to work out in your favor. Because when the rates drop, you can refinance, again free of charge, and lower your monthly payment. In fact, the rates have dropped a full point since the calendar turned to 2025, and they're going to come down more. So with a clear mind, you can refinance, again free of charge, lower your monthly payment, and save hundreds. How much is it worth to you? Just the point drop for a $400,000 mortgage, $260 a month. You could do something with that money. I know I could. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary. An equal housing lender, NMLS ID 250-2146.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharkies. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime. And Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Raleigh Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
This is Adam Gold.
So Mike Vrabel, the coach of the New England Patriots, they asked him about birthday cake, and he said there was only one cake qualified for his birthday cake.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to guess what that is?
Is it vanilla?
No.
Oh.
Carrot.
I love him even more.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Before we talk Panthers, quickly, Anthony Rizzo, diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2008.
Right.
Upon being drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 2007 draft. He ultimately was traded by the Red Sox to the Padres, who traded him to the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
The rest we all know. But obviously overcame that and was able to resume his career in 2008.
Yeah, he was the original Riz before kids made it a word.
That's right. That's right.
At least in my book.
That's right. It is. It is now a word. I have to brush up on my, teen lingo. But yes, Riz. It's a verb, right? You're rizzing.
Yeah.
It's a verb.
because people are too lazy to say the whole word charisma.
Oh, okay. It's that?
And so that's where Riz came from. So I don't know.
I'm not.
But now we're late to the party, so if we use it, we're just the weird people.
Rizzing is a verb form of the slang term riz, which is derived from charisma. Very good.
Yeah.
Flirting. To flirt is rizzing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is not going to happen with Kyle Bailey of WFNZ in Charlotte. I will not flirt with Kyle Bailey, but I have mad respect. At Kyle Bailey Club on Twitter, 3 to 6 in the afternoon in Charlotte. All right, sir. I appreciate your time. We have not chatted in a few minutes, so let me ask you this. We did a poll Monday. Biggest issue with the Panthers' loss in Jacksonville. And I gave 3 options plus other. I didn't do all of the above. Bryce, the defense, Dave Canales. Bryce was the first choice, 36, defense 27, Dave 29%. Others gave us 8. Most of that was all of the above, which I think is a cop-out, but whatever. What would you answer to that poll question?
First of all, what's up, bruh? That game on Sunday was Ohio, as the kids say. No, I'm kidding. That's really lame. Good to be with you, brother. That poll's wild to me because I think it should go largely in reverse order. I think that the coaching staff did not have that team prepared to play. They were unprepared, disorganized. I thought the defense was atrocious. More stats coming out this morning that I've seen about the Jacksonville offensive line being damn near perfect on Sunday because the Panthers and all that money they spent on the defensive front could muster absolutely 0 pass rush, 0 sacks on the day. And I thought Bryce, while not good, was light years better than he was. And this was not last year's opener against the Saints where he contributed nothing and, looked lost and helpless. Bryce made some great throws on Sunday. Now, he ruined it all by turning the football over. There's no question about that. But I would go in reverse order. I start with the head coach, then I go to the defense, and then I go to Bryce.
Kyle Bailey is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. 6 quarterback pressures all game for the Panthers defensive unit, because it's not just the defensive line. 6 pressures all game. They made Trevor Lawrence's life easy in the game, and he didn't have to do a lot because there was 200 yards rushing. So I'm going to skip to the head coach, because I was going to save that for a little bit later, because I do want to talk about Bryce with you. I listened to the interview with the coaches show, and the question about the defense giving up, they stayed away from the 7th straight game that they have allowed at least 200 yards rushing in the NFL. This ain't Big 10, Big 8 football where teams are rushing for 300 yards a game. It is alarming to allow 7 straight games. That's ridiculous. And he talked about, we missed tackles. Everybody misses tackles. There were not enough players in the area to turn what might have been a loss of 1 into a gain of 5. They were turning a loss of 1, possibly one guy missing a tackle, and it's 15 yards. Or it's 71 to Travis Etienne, who was on my fantasy team all last year. I'm not sure he gained 71 yards rushing all season. So, to me, it was the lack of bodies around the ball carriers that spoke volumes to me. They were easily blocked.
Oh, yeah. No, they weren't just missing tackles. They were out of position, to your point. And listen, I'll point out, as you did a moment ago, 71 of the 200 rushing yards they allowed came on one play. That's a real thing. But here's an additional stat for you, which I'm sure you've probably seen. It's not just the 7 straight games of 200-plus rushing yards allowed, which is a war crime in the NFL, but in 35 games of Ejiro Evero as defensive coordinator, 26 of those 35 games, his defenses have given up at least 120 rushing yards. 26 of 35 games. So this is their identity now. This is who they are. And so he can point to it and say, we missed tackles. Well, of course you did, but you do that professionally now. We become accustomed to that, and we were told, and some of us even were willing to, accept, hey, you had no personnel last year. Guys were hurt. It already wasn't a very talented defense. Dan Morgan said, I've got to get EJ some players, and he was right. Well, now they've gotten him some players, and the result in week 1 anyway looked to be the exact same. And so you said it, 6 total quarterback pressures, which is just abysmal. And then not to change the subject, but on the flip side, on the offensive line with Icky out, Yosh Nijman gave up 6 pressures himself at the left tackle position. So up front, I don't want to paint too broadly, because Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis and Taylor Moton, 3 of the 5 offensive linemen graded out really well, but they just had way too many problems along the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football.
Yeah, they couldn't snap the ball either. And I don't know, I'm sure you have, because this is what you do. Dan Orlovsky put out a really good, I think, helpful video, right? I'm sure you saw it.
Yep.
And he was critical of Bryce, but it was also critical of Bryce with the caveat that Dan Orlovsky knows that Bryce is better than this. So it wasn't like being critical of Bryce and saying he can't play. And a lot of it had to do with, in Orlovsky's mind, he did mention the snaps. Austin Corbett had a rough day snapping the ball to Bryce Young. And so it was partly that. And it was also partly, it seemed to Orlovsky, that whatever they've done in the offseason and into the preseason to change the way Bryce drops back, to kind of refine some things, he's still kind of working through it in his brain. And that it caused him to be late on some throws. And I don't think it was all that, but it caused him to be late on some throws. And when you're late in the NFL, it's over. You don't have the time that you had in college.
100%. Well, Dave Canales has said it, to your point. Dave, day one, the opening press conference, talked about how important it was to tie the offense and what they do to the footwork of the quarterback. 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drops. This is all based on time, most of the time. And so, I saw Orlovsky's breakdown. It was great. There was some sloppiness in Bryce's footwork, no doubt. It also immediately took me back to the Diana Rossini, Joe Person post-mortem article on the Frank Reich era. and that now infamous quote about how, well, we'll work on his footwork next year, which blew my mind at the time and still does to this day. But, he's had some muddy footwork at times, but then you factor in the Corbett thing was so out of left field. I mean, the fact that not only could he not get a clean snap off, 50% of the time, his pass protection grade was like historically bad, 27. I mean, he was awful, all across the board. And so that throws off timing. When Bryce is catching snaps one-handed, 8 inches above his head, it's naturally going to throw off his footwork, which is going to throw off the play in the way that he sees the field. So, listen, I'm not Bill Parcells. I don't talk down to people when it comes to the X's and O's of football, but I've seen a lot of football, covered a lot of football, and you spend time around these guys, you learn a thing or two. And when you watch individual plays, like the underthrow to Hunter Renfrow on that wheel route that could have gone for a touchdown,
exactly.
When you go back and watch it, as Orlovsky did, not only was the snap high, as Bryce is trying to step into that throw, Yosh Nijman allows one of his many pressures on the day, and Bryce has a defender in his lap and is unable to step into that throw. So, this is why the coaches' press conferences on Monday are far more useful than Sunday, because people have seen the tape, they know what actually happened, and it's why I think criticism of Bryce is absolutely justified all the time, but especially coming out of Saturday. If he wants to keep turning the football over, he can go play for somebody else. Turnovers are unacceptable. But he did not play near as badly as some people would have you believe.
Yeah, I wish Dave Canales, especially because I listened to the coaches show on Monday night, the only person he called out was Bryce. He didn't call out Xavier Legette for not getting a second foot down, which 2 plays later led to the Bryce Young careless fumble. What percentage of NFL wide receivers get 2 feet down on that particular pass?
99.993%.
Yeah.
I mean, it was he had half an acre to get his feet down. Like that was just so egregious. And I tend to be. You've known me a long time. I'm not the overreactionary, looking for attention type. I defended XL this summer because it seemed to me that he had his head in it. He understood where he fell short last year. He had been working on things, and that mistake is bad enough. But then when you compound that in a tight formation in a short yardage situation, when your team needs you to block, you're not split out wide to the field 6 inches from the sideline. You are in tight in the formation, and you're in a short yardage play, a run play. Cuba's trying to pick up a first down. You can't be bothered to put a hat on the guy, the DB who comes up and makes the stop and stops him short of the line to gain. Get off the football field. I mean, I thought Mark Schlereth ripped him appropriately. What are you out there for if you can't be bothered to do those things? So for anybody who's out on XL after that singular performance, I don't blame them a bit, because that to me was egregious.
I was stunned, and I was stunned at how many people tried to defend him. And by the way, I give Tedero McMillan a ton of credit for calling himself out on the pass to the end zone that he said he should have caught. Next time he will go up with 2 hands. I caught hell on Twitter for saying, how do you not go up with 2 hands for that? There was a play to be made. Was his arm tugged a little bit? Yeah, but he had already made the decision to go up one-handed. So I give him credit for recognizing it. Nobody else talked about it. Dave Canales didn't talk about it. They're giving a lot of people a pass. I have my own thoughts about Dave Canales having a preconceived notion about Bryce Young from last year that I'm not going to get away from until it's proven otherwise. I don't think Canales really has confidence in Bryce. I think that's why he calls plays the way he does for Bryce. I think Young is really good throwing the ball over the middle, and I don't think they do it enough. I really don't. And I think
I think Dave's got his own issues too. I mean, I think Dave's got confidence issues not just in Bryce but in himself.
Okay.
When you step to a podium on Monday and you say, when he's asked why we got a youth movement on the offensive side but not necessarily the defensive side, and his answer is, well, I've been pushing for those guys to play more. I'm sorry, you're the head coach. You don't push for anything. Do you think any coordinator or position coach does anything other than what Jim Harbaugh tells them to do with the LA Chargers? I mean, so I like Dave. I think he's an energetic, smart young guy, and I wish him the best, and I hope he wins a ton of games here. And we're talking about inducting him into the Hall of Honor in 5 or 6 years. But right now he's got some real questions to answer. And, I don't know about the confidence level in Bryce. It sure seemed like they opened up the playbook considerably down the stretch last year when he played so well. And you're right. He throws the ball well over the middle of the field. He's great out in space. And that's another complaint that I think fans rightly have. Multiple timeouts before the play clock expired on Sunday. You can't get the play in. you're running the play clock down to 2 or 1 seconds every single time, not only allowing the defense to get set, but rushing your quarterback on top of that. That's Dave. He's the play caller.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to get the play call in faster. That's on Dave. So that's why I think they ought to be humiliated this week that they operated that way as a staff going into year 2, and they got thoroughly outcoached by a staff making its debut together in the NFL regular season. That's embarrassing.
Final question for Kyle Bailey. And there were a lot of other things I wanted to talk about, but this was too good. Do you think, now we can't prove it, do you think more preseason game reps would have helped?
Of course. They would have helped certain guys. And if you're worried about your quarterback being in rhythm, I don't know. Give him some more plays out there. I've never in my life come after that Houston game when you hear a head coach, well, I just didn't think those guys played well enough to deserve more opportunities. So we said, what are you talking about?
I said the same thing.
What are you talking about? Like that, you've never heard a coach say that before for good reason. If your guys aren't playing well, you run them back out there and you make them prove something. And maybe they don't, but I have never in my life heard a coach say, well, I just didn't think they earned the opportunity to go back out there. Well, I mean, if things keep trending this way, you're not going to earn a third year on the job. Like he talked a whole big game about learning from last year's preseason, not playing the starters. Yeah. They wanted extra joint practice time with the Houston Texans. And then every single time when the opportunity presented itself deeper into the preseason to get those guys more reps and opportunities, they opted not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to prove it, emphatically with empirical data that it matters. But logically, the only reason to play your guys in the preseason is to get them ready for the regular season. So there must be some benefit to it. And if we're worried about injury, didn't Jalen Coker get hurt in practice? Right?
Correct.
He hurt his quad in practice. Maybe we shouldn't practice either if it's an injury fear. Kyle Bailey at Kyle Bailey Club, WFNZ in Charlotte. I appreciate your time, my friend. We'll do it again, maybe more frequently than every 8 months.
Happy to do it, brother. Good to talk to you.
Later. It's Kyle Bailey here on the Adam Gold Show. All right, when we come back, we've got one-timers. I'm glad I wasn't like ludicrous. Last year, I determined that I was not Team Dave Canales, right? And I know it's year 1, and they started playing better. And, like, you're still out on Dave Canales? I'm like, I'm not in.
Yeah.
I'm less out, but I'm not in.
Sure.
I'm like, whatever the meter is, it's pushing to the left.
Yeah.
It's pushing to the out.
Yeah. Well, this team gives you no reason to have faith in their decision-making. Until they actually have some consistently good choices, why would anyone just blindly be like, yeah, he's great. We thought that about Frank Reich. Look what happened there.
Did we think that about Frank Reich? I don't think we thought about that.
Us fans really tried.
We never thought that about Matt Rule
really
either.
Tried. No, that's why I think we all jumped on the...
But that's the head coach. That's the owner.
Exactly.
By the way, we have not heard from David Tepper, and that's a good thing. All right, one-timers is next.
Making more sports sense than social media trolls. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from our friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you will not want to miss. New customers, bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win that $5 bet. That's right. Pick something fun, easily winnable. Bet $5, unlock $300 worth of our money in bonus bets to use all across the world's greatest app. Build parlays, player props, whatever. The NFL is here. FanDuel.com/AGS, FanDuel.com/AGS. Download the FanDuel app today and get started with FanDuel and have some fun
this season. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
My name is Andrew Dotson. I'm a peer support specialist here at Phoenix Counseling Center. As a young man, 18 years old, I joined the military, went to Afghanistan in 2012, went through some hard situations, saw some things that were traumatizing. There's a number that I memorized, 105. That's the room number right around the corner. Room 105 was where I stayed last time I was a patient here, right before I got ready to really get sober. The first step in recovery is walking through the door and saying I need help.
Visit ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
One Adam Gold.
Person in front of me in line had a box of wine.
Oh, yeah. I feel that person. If you are buying boxed wine on a Friday, that thing is open right now.
In the car.
Yeah. I don't even need it to cool down.
She jammed a big straw right through the top of the box
yeah.
in
Went
the car.
to the gas station to get a cup of ice. Like, they don't even care.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Next hour, Chip Patterson. Also next hour, I will Jones just a little bit on something that we are less than 2 weeks away from.
Oh, I was going to say Kate Winslet must have added you on Twitter now.
So if I told you I got a DM from Kate Winslet.
Oh, man.
What would you say?
Bring her on the show. I have questions.
It's a good question.
Why did you let go of Jack?
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Boy, I'm conflicted. All right, let's do one-timers.
Okay, so looking at our YouTube stream where you can drop some one-timers there or add us on Twitter like Kate Winslet is going to do. We're just waiting for her. She's probably still asleep. First up from Chris, Jack Roslovic staying in Carolina? ?
I had not heard that. I can't imagine that they're bringing Jack Roslovic in. I mean, unless news like that has broken without me knowing it, and I don't see an email from the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There's no room for. I mean, look, they're looking for a center, probably, but it ain't Roslovic. Roslovic isn't the answer.
Right.
So, no.
Yeah. Next up, we have, I love this. With it being the official overreaction week, what has been your favorite overreaction takes thus far? They said, I have seen bench Bryce Young again, fire Canales or Evero.
For the Panthers.
Yes, for the Panthers. Trade XL, start Hooker.
Start Hooker.
That's what they're I guess
he's
that's
on the practice squad.
That's some of their overreactions.
So, I don't think anything we've seen has been an overreaction, except that people. Remember what I've been saying all along as we're leading up to the season. I don't know what value to place on the end of the regular season because Bryce was excellent, right? The stats in the last 7 games, whatever the stats were. But he was really good, really the last 3. I just don't know what kind of value to put on it. And I think a lot of people probably felt the same way. And they were ready to say, Bryce sucks, can't play after week 1. And I'm a little bit more pragmatic about it. I think the problems were far-reaching and not just about Bryce. I think they all kind of tied together. So I don't know that there are any, overreactions to what we saw from the Panthers.
Okay, and last up, I like this one too. In their fantasy league, this person, should they start Jaden Daniels or Kyler Murray? Which I just looked it up and we're running out of time. Daniels got 19, Murray had 17 last week.
In terms of points, Kyler Murray is going up against a far less top defense. Maybe that.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, Greater Triangle area. Chick-fil-A invites you to enjoy a 4-count chicken minis on us in the Chick-fil-A app. Join us this week, September 8th through 12th, to get your reward for a 4-count chicken minis by downloading or signing into your Chick-fil-A app with location services on in the Greater Triangle area. Redeem when you order through the Chick-fil-A app at a participating Greater Triangle area Chick-fil-A restaurant from open to 10:30 a.m. Offer subject to availability. Rewards are single-use only. Limit 1 per person per Chick-fil-A One account. See further details in the app.
Van, the mission is clear. It's time to mobilize thousands for the Walk for Hope and Festival.
Mission accepted. Join us on Sunday, October 12th at the Angus Barn. Music from the Band of Oz, great food, and family fun. Sign up now at walkforhope.com.
Every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet your first $5. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Every season can be punishing for your roof. Mother Nature is a fierce opponent that doesn't take a break, which is why you need RoofWorks on your building maintenance team. Hi, this is Holly from RoofWorks. We specialize in keeping your commercial roof in great condition no matter what the issue may be. We offer roof inspections, roof repairs, and if needed, a full roof replacement. We help determine if there's a problem with your roof and advise you on the most cost-effective way to handle it. Contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roofwerks.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
This is the record of Power 4 conferences versus other Power 4 conferences, right? In the 9 conference games we've seen so far. The ACC, they are 3-9 versus other Power 4 conferences. The Big 12, 4-6 against Power 4 non-conference teams. The Big 10, with that big victory over Texas, Ohio State had, they are just 4-3. Okay. The SEC, 8-2.
Yeah, but one of those is Alabama's lost to Florida State. And it also gets us back to ACC scheduling non-conference games. Why do we do it? Chip Patterson later this hour. Hi, it's the Adam Gold Show. 2 things for you. 1, you can watch the show, and yes, unlike yesterday, I am in studio so you can see me. Go to YouTube and search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan, either way. Or let me make it even easier. Download the 99.9 The Fan app. We have an app. It's a whole day old.
It's a thing. It's there.
It's still feeding off of its mother. It's a day old. Just go to the App Store and search 99.9 The Fan, and boom, it's free. And then you can just push the button. Watch 99.9 The Fan. There you go. Thank you very much. We're going to do a lot. Chip Patterson's going to join us in less than 15 minutes. Several things I want to see if I can run through here. Spend a little bit more time on the Wolfpack and the Demon Deacons. A little bit of time on the Panthers. Our conversation with Kyle Bailey. I felt like I was getting confirmation on the things that I'm thinking. Yeah, Bryce wasn't any good. The fumble to me, the first interception where he probably shouldn't have thrown to Xavier Leggett because there was another open receiver. They only needed like a couple of yards to get a first down, and the safety was right there. I do wonder, should Leggett have come back to the ball more? But I don't know. So those were egregious mistakes, and he missed some throws. But for so many people to go immediately knee-jerk, quarterback's no good. Boy, offensive line wasn't very good. He didn't get enough help from, well, I shouldn't say from his receivers. I don't want to have it clouded by one Xavier Leggett brain fart. You have to get your second foot down. You had so much room. You're just running. It wasn't like you were leaping trying to get down. I undersold it. I said 98% of the wide receivers in the league would have gotten 2 feet down. Xavier Legette did not. And that was a big play. It would have gotten a first down, extended the drive. And then Bryce Young did get the first down, but then fumbled. Anyway, everybody just went to that. To me, this has been a preparation coaching issue more than anything else. We'll get into that a little in a couple of minutes. A few things, though. The first is Jalen Carter, very quickly. Jalen Carter was given a 1-game suspension, but he's already served it because he was ejected before the Eagles defense ever played a snap.
I'm surprised they count that.
So what the NFL is doing, this is an NFL fine. It's not necessarily the Eagles docking him a salary. The NFL just fined him the week, $55,000 something. So, but what they're saying, and I can respect it because he did miss the entire game, and the Eagles didn't have a chance to have somebody else on the roster for that game, so they played down a man. They were down to they should have been down to 10. That would have been great if they had to play the entire game with 10 men on the field. They do that in English football. So, but the NFL has made the precedent now that hocking a loogie on your opposing team's quarterback is worth a game. I could argue it should be worth more because it's gross, but there you go. It's at least it's worth a game. All right, now I said I was going to Jones out. I'm not going to do this very long because I want to talk a little bit about State and Wake Forest tomorrow night. Yesterday, our friend, was it yesterday? It was might have been Monday night. Our friend Ben, the stats guy, the nerd, who was hung out with us a lot during the season last year, and we'll have him back, sent me a list of NHL Network's, I think, top 25 prospects. Alexander Nikishin was 17th on that list. And I'm like, 17th? That seems low to me. And I think it is low to me. But regardless, he is a prospect, and I'm looking forward to this season. And I also was communicating with our friend Sarah Sivian, who's going to join us next week. And I'm like, I'm jonesing now. I am jonesing to talk hockey. Hurricanes announced that training camp on ice sessions would begin a week from tomorrow, the 18th. Prospect tournament is, believe, Friday through Monday in Florida, and then they start on the 18th on ice next week for training camp. Remember, 2 weeks from Monday, right? 2 weeks from Monday, I believe, or is it tomorrow? Today? Yesterday? I don't know. 2 weeks from Monday is the start of the preseason, the 22nd. Start of preseason hockey. Couldn't be more excited for that. So I was like, yeah, I want to talk Hurricanes. Seth Jarvis is the Hurricanes rep at the NHL player media sessions, wherever they are. I don't know where they are, but he's excited to do it. Seth also talked about, hey, if they want me to move to the middle, I will. Based on our conversation with Rod Brindamore a couple of weeks ago here, not in this studio, but another studio for the podcast, he doesn't want to do that. I think he's going to try Logan Stankoven there first, see how that goes. And as I've said, I think that if I were a betting man, I would say that Jesperi Kotkaniemi will get first crack at that position. Whether it works finally or not, we don't know. But the Hurricanes, I think, will start there and adjust accordingly. And I still believe, even if that looks like it's working, I still believe that the Hurricanes will be exploring center options all throughout the season. As soon as teams realize we're not competing, there will be centers available. But right now, no. All right. Tomorrow, the football week begins with NC State playing at Wake Forest. This will be the 13th game, I believe, for Dave Dorn against the Demon Deacons. This is year 13, right? He is 6-6 against Wake, 3-3 on the road, 3-3 in Raleigh. So obviously, in this matchup, doesn't matter where you play. these two teams just seem to beat each other routinely. Like, it's not a big deal. And I know State fans like, how do we not beat Wake almost all the time? Because it's Wake. Except that Wake has been, really since I've lived here, a very good, solid program. Jim Grobe, Dave Clawson, they've gotten it right. Maybe with Jake Dickert, they've gotten it right again. I don't know. By the way, Wake is 2-0. They haven't played anybody. Kennesaw State, they struggled with, 10-9. And then they blew out Western Carolina. They seem to have, at least a good dual-threat quarterback. Claiborne, the running back, is dynamite. They've got a couple of good receivers, so I don't think they're going to be easy to beat at all for State. But here's my question about the Wolfpack. With C.J. Bailey, who will be in the mix, I believe, for all ACC honors this year. Absolutely will be in the mix. And Hollywood Smothers. And all of those receivers. Grimes, Rogers, Hoffman, the freshman, who really didn't play a big role in the game against Virginia, surprisingly. Justin Jolie hasn't really gotten going yet. With all of their weapons, and the offensive line looks like it's at least good, can Dave Doran can he turn his conservative, defensive-minded coach's brain off and allow the offense to just flow? Open up the taps, man. Let the offense go. Because I do think that there are the bones of a pretty good defense for State, but it obviously hasn't looked good through 2 weeks. I think more problematic is their inability to stop the pass. So why not be comfortable winning Big 12-style football games, which are shootouts, man. So at least you'll be entertaining, because I think they've got the offense to score a ton of points. I'd like to see that continue this week. Right? They could not run the ball against ECU, and that hampered them. But ultimately, they got enough out of their game to get ahead and then just kind of hold on. Need a defensive stop to win, which they needed also against Virginia. But their offense did crank up against UVA. Now, do it again against Wake. And then next week at Duke. I still think Duke's the best team in the triangle. But I think when State's got their offense going, I think they can score against anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
That's the problem. It's just when. They need to stop playing with their food sometimes.
Take the restrictor plates off, Dave. Let them go. Let them go. All right, when we come back, Chip Patterson, CBSSports.com, Cover 3 podcast moderator. We got a ton of stuff to get to. Next.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's time for our 1 o'clock keyword in our Sin City Skateaway, sponsored by MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb & Company. This hour's word is air. Text AIR to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a trip for two to Las Vegas and see Carolina play hockey against the Las Vegas Golden Knights next month. Again, this hour's word is air. Good luck from 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
If you are beyond ready for the weekend and in need for some motorcycle therapy, you're in luck because we're halfway there. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here from 99.9 The Fan for Law Tigers, and sometimes Wednesdays are just the toughest days of the week. But maybe you've been thinking about that ride to the beach this weekend or maybe up to the mountains and checking off that to-do list as we get closer. While you're checking off that list, it's always smart to keep in mind what could happen while you're on the road. If you're ever in an accident on your motorcycle, make sure to call Law Tigers first before calling your insurance company. At Law Tigers, they're riders too, so they get it. They know the value of your bike and your gear and the investment that you've made. They know what it's like to go through an accident, and case evaluations are always going to be free, so you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Football season is back, and let's be honest, your living room doesn't have award-winning wings, a massive beer selection, and over 50 TVs. Carolina Ale House does. We've got homemade favorites and so many screens you can watch every game at once. Bring your crew, bring your appetite, and get loud with us. Don't fumble your game day plans. Come watch the game at Carolina Ale House, where great sports deserves great food. Hell yeah!
At Dogwood State Bank, we believe in the strength of community and the power of local partnerships. That's why we're proud to support NC State football. Just as the Wolfpack brings dedication and teamwork to the field, we bring that same commitment to helping individuals and businesses achieve their goals. Dogwood State Bank, proud to serve our community, proud to support the Pack. Member FDIC.
Discover the value of exceptional skincare during the open house at Central Dermatology Center in Chapel Hill this Friday from 9 to 5. Tour our newly renovated facility and enjoy open house savings to stock up on exclusive products and treatments like Botox and laser hair removal. Meet our expert team for quick consultations, chat with product reps, try samples, enjoy free refreshments, gift bags, and more. Plus, special bundle purchases support the Orange County Rape Crisis Center. We'll see you at 2238 Nelson Highway, Suite 300.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This is Adam Gold.
80-second mark, I scream in the booth. I screamed in the booth. Why the heck is he still on the ice?
Did you say it in Finnish?
I should have.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He curses in English.
He does.
All right, 2 seconds later, he scored.
Yes.
And I went, oh, that's why. That's what.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Chip Patterson, just a few minutes. There was one other hockey thing I wanted to bring up. Kirill Kaprizov, who's one of the most dynamic offensive players in the entire league. You know, he is walking 95 to 100 points. Walking. Just wakes up, we're scoring. Was offered, he's into the last year of his contract, was offered an 8-year deal by Minnesota worth $16 million per season. Would make him the highest paid player in hockey. Know that Connor McDavid is also entering the final year of his contract. $16 million. And Kaprizov said no.
Wow. I'll take it.
Wow. He said no. So, yeah.
Wow.
McDavid's contract won't be that high. I promise. It will not be that crazy. McDavid wants to win more than anything else.
Yeah.
More than anything else, Connor McDavid wants to win.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be with the Oilers.
Well, they've been in the last 2 Stanley Cup finals. Why can't it be there? Okay. They need to figure out goaltending. They need to become better on defense, and I thought they made some strides towards that. Maybe paying Evan Bouchard $10.5 million a year to not care about defense was a bad idea.
It was. But
he's a great offensive player, and we know what we know what the NHL pays for. Because the fact that Evan Bouchard makes almost twice what Jacob Slavin makes is pretty egregious.
Yeah, big time.
Now, I would argue that Slavin undersold himself a little bit financially, but still, the fact that there is such a big gap between those two players, and I am telling you I would rather have Jacob Slavin 100,000 times in a row.
Same. He's our Lady Binger ×2.
Yes, but my gosh. But I think McDavid does re-sign there, but it'll be for lower money. Not like cheap.
Yeah.
Because you owe it to the rest of the league as the best player, theoretically, as the best player to pretty much set the bar. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to be something. He's going to be close to that. I think he'll be in the 15 range, and I bet it's a short deal. I think he's going to put a little pressure on Edmonton to win.
Yeah.
Which he should. Yeah. Which he really should do. So it's another reason I'm jonesing
I know.
to talk a little hockey.
I know. I miss it. We're spoiled here because our hockey season is longer than, other teams usually.
Yeah, I mean, 3 out of the last 7 years we've been almost to June, right? We got to just before Memorial Day in 3 of the last 7 years. So look, I'm ready for it. Now we just got to get over the hump. So I'm like I have trades running through my head now.
Yeah, I know.
Can we go get Kirill Kaprizov? So real quick, because Ben also shot me that Twitter blurb from Frank Saravalli. And he mentioned that maybe Kaprizov is one of those players who's from overseas who's always had this dream of playing for the Rangers. And all I could think of was, why them?
I know.
It's a mediocre franchise.
Yeah.
They're not run really well.
And if you're trying to stay with the original 6, there's 5 other ones.
Right. I mean, they're not all run really well either. But so the Rangers, the Cowboys, the Knicks, although the Knicks don't bring players in like that because people here in the United States realize what a terrible organization they are. The Mets. No, the Yankees draw those players. Mm-hmm. But why did they keep going to those teams?
I know.
Don't go to those teams.
No.
Go to teams that deserve it. Do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, that's not what happens.
And the teams with the best fans, even though I'm biased.
They have great fans here.
Yeah.
Every fan base has a lunatic fringe. Every single fan base has a lunatic fringe. And some of us try to deal with it online when we shouldn't have. And I would put myself in that category. All right, we're going to talk about this with Chip Patterson. And I'm going to lead into it just by setting it up real quick. The transfer portal times are about to change. It probably needs to change, but there is a ton of debate over how they will change. And I want to start off with this kind of nuts and boltsy thing about off-field college before we get into actual college football. And Ryan Day doesn't like it. The proposal is a one-time transfer portal, I was going to say window, that starts January 2nd, which is the day after the quarterfinal games in this year's playoff, lasts for 10 days, and having no spring portal. Ryan Day doesn't like it. We'll explain why he doesn't like it as we bring in Chip Patterson, CBSSports.com, Cover 3 podcast moderator. Sir, how are you?
I'm well.
Good.
We're moving through the internet tubes a little slowly, it seems, but if you've got me loud and clear, then we are connected because I hear you.
You sound wonderful. All right.
Excellent.
Now, Ryan Day doesn't like the proposal. I don't like his reasoning why he doesn't like the proposal because, when you're always in the playoffs, and Ohio State will always be in the playoffs, although Alabama probably thought that going in last year. When you're always in the playoff, well, it gets in the way of preparing for playoff games. I remember Nick Saban complaining that the recruiting period started while they were still playing in I guess it was BCS playoff games, whatever it was, college football playoff games. So he was a week late getting on the road recruiting, and he was so mad about that. But they didn't change it because of Nick. So what's Ryan Day's point, and what do you think ultimately is going to happen there?
That would have been great for Ryan Day to voice that displeasure at the American Football Coaches Association conference where, Adam, it was a unanimous support of the single portal proposal that has continued to move forward. Again,
right.
The American Football Coaches Association is in lockstep on this proposal of a single transfer portal window and having it be not starting December 20th,
right,
but having it start January 2nd, where, according to the current college football playoff calendar, would only leave teams in the semifinals, Adam. How arrogant of Ryan Day to assume that he's still going to be playing football on January 2nd, to assume that the Buckeyes are not just going to be a playoff team, but on into the semifinals every single year.
Yeah.
You know what? You know who's not a fan of this? Players. You know who is a fan of this? The attorneys for players that are going to sue into oblivion that you can't restrict access. Transfer portal might be on life support. We just might have rolling and rollies at this point.
The only way to stop it is to just say, look, once you've started the season with a school, you are ineligible to play at another school until the next season.
Yep, 100%.
That's a simple rule.
Yeah, you'd think, but even that, we are just trying to prevent somebody leaving one program going to another in the middle of the season. So that would at least be some kind of guardrails here. I will say, going back to conversations that were at the AFCA convention, I like the one portal. I like the timing of the one portal. I like the fact that there is a single unified portal window. Again, I don't think it will stand. And if we wanted to adjust it again, I would prefer that portal window 1 is the time period that they have identified. Portal window 2 is somewhere similar to where it is now. Because what I am very, very much against is the current portal window taking place at a time when players and coaches and schools are trying to, all at the same time, number one, lock down an early signing period high school recruiting class. And I understand that for every portal king there is out there, there are programs that are still developmental programs. Shocking, I know, but there are still developmental programs in college football, and that requires being able to solidify your high school recruiting class. While at the same time, you're dealing with the more robust transfer portal because the winter is more robust than the spring. At the same time, you are trying to manage hiring a new staff.
Yeah.
Because you've got the assistant coaches that are all changing at this time. You've got a head coaching carousel that's spinning because those schools want to have coaches in place to lock down transfer portal and high school recruiting classes. And oh yeah, let's say that your alumni are fired up because you are going down to Jacksonville for the Gator Bowl, right? And you don't want to embarrass your alumni that have just spent all this money renting out these suites, those mega boosters that are going to wear your school colors all around, let's see,
Duval.
Yeah, Duval, Jacksonville, all around Jacksonville. You've got to do bowl prep, high school recruiting, transfer recruiting, hiring a staff, all at the same. Oh, and by the way, it does not matter your creed, your color, or your religion. There's some holidays around there too. So if your family wants to spend any time with you around any of these December holidays, all of that is crazy to me. So I think that pushing back the transfer portal until January 2nd, where everything is in the books for the season, except for the semifinals and the national championship game. I like the timing.
Yeah.
I fear that trying to uphold anything that restricts player access, which going from 2 portals to 1 portal and having it only be 10 days is restricting player access. I think that that's going to have a tough time holding up in court.
Ryan Day actually said that all the Big Ten coaches were on board with him, and I don't believe that's true. How long, this is because I don't know the answer to this question, how long do players have to make their decision about where they're going to go? There's a 10-day window to enter the portal. How long do they get to make their decisions about when they, where they're going to go? Is it indefinite? How long do they have?
Enrollment for classes, being an eligible
so
student.
So who cares? Like, it could be 1,000 players in the portal, and frankly, there probably will. So Ohio State's got time. It's only about players entering. Even more reason to give Ryan Day the shut up about this.
Yeah, I think that there is something to be said for wanting to have an idea of who's leaving your program before you start spring practice. Those stories do kind of break my heart a little bit. The coaches who go into spring practice, they put in the work. Then the spring portal opens, and we lost 7 starters. And we don't see it a lot at the power conference level, but, geez, you certainly see it at the group of 5 level because somebody gets hurt at a power conference team, and they just decide to go shopping. And I know that tampering doesn't exist, right? Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tampering's always existed, but it's probably more prevalent now because there's so much more freedom of movement. Matt Rule canceled the spring game because he didn't want schools recruiting off of Nebraska's spring game. That's what he said, and they canceled the game. And he kind of started a little bit of a trend in that. There's a lot of schools that decide. I don't think NC State played a spring game, right?
I think, I mean, I'm very much out on canceling spring games.
I think it's terrible. It's a dumb idea.
Player personnel departments do not recruit off your spring game. They recruit off your roster and the wealth of tape that those players have put up already. So, I mean, height, weight, speed, game film. We don't with all the money that is being spent on player personnel departments and general managers, it ain't going to be the BTN TV copy that gets you what you need. Exos, we've got Huddle. We've got our systems that are a little bit better than the DVR these days.
Chip Patterson, always on Wednesdays. All right. I need a vibe check from you on the Clemson Tigers. Level of concern. We have a concern meter. Highly concerned. Slow start. They'll be okay. Where are you?
Highly concerned if my expectation was for Clemson to be standing on the same field as an Ohio State or a Penn State or an Oregon at the end of the season. Highly concerned.
Okay.
Offensive line, run game, and the way that failures by the offensive line and the run game further expose or lead to regressions for the performance of Cade Klubnik. And when all of those things aren't working, it does not matter that they have the best group of wide receivers that they've had since they competed for national titles. Because how in the world are they going to get the ball?
Right.
I mean, we could actually have prime era Sammy Watkins, Nuke Hopkins out there. But if Cade's running for his life and every first and second down run is getting stuffed, there's not much you can do. I still think the defense is excellent.
Yeah.
And I still think that there is a talent advantage over a lot of teams on their schedule. So, they'll be okay. As in, I still think they are going to enter their final 2 ACC games very much in the thick of the ACC championship race. Right. But again, as I as I compare Clemson to the very best teams in the country. And by the way, they played one at home in week 1.
Yes, they did.
They got a lot of work to do to be able to get there.
Yes, Brian Kelly certainly thinks so. My just read on them, because I watched the first half against Troy, and I watched most of the game. I didn't watch the first quarter. I watched when I saw the score, I'm like, what's going on? So I tuned in. They were inept offensively in the first half, totally inept. Defense was let down by the offense. My one fear about the defense is I don't think they cover very well, and they're very front four centric to me. I think they have they have a couple of really good players in the second level, but I think maybe they're just not being. They just haven't really gotten off to great starts, but I think they're very front four centric. But I think in the back end, I think they can be exposed by good teams. LSU definitely exposed them in the pass game. But their offense to me looks, and this is a team that I think went to the national championship game or made the playoffs and lost to Alabama. The third year, Trevor Lawrence, when they had no running game unless he was part of it. I mean, maybe that's what they have to do. Mm-hmm. Simply make Cade Klubnik part of the run game. He's certainly not Trevor Lawrence, but just to make the math work out better for them, because they don't have a running game at all. And although it looked better in the second half against Troy, but it had to against Troy. I was very disappointed.
Great call there. The 2020 Clemson Tigers had to fight their way back to win the ACC. They had sort of had some trip ups in the middle of the season. DJU had to play for Trevor for a couple of games. Right. Remember, there'd be a bunch of first halves.
Oh, he played great at Notre Dame in a loss, right?
Played great at Notre Dame in a loss, but they worked their way back. They win the ACC. They make the college football playoff. They show up in the semifinals against Ohio State and just got punked.
Yeah.
And I think that might be a great call out. And you know what the difference is? Trevor Lawrence is worlds better than what we've seen from Cade Klubnik. So, yeah.
Okay. I wanted to make sure, because I've been a skeptic. I've been from Missouri here. I need him to show me, and he hasn't shown me. I know he had put up great numbers last year, but against really good teams, I just haven't seen good enough Cade Klubnik to really be a believer. I think the ACC.
Oh, you know who has probably some very strong opinions, and I really don't want to put. Listen, I know that he is a huge, huge fan of the Adam Gold Show. So, Mike Krzyzewski, former Duke head coach, Hall of Famer. Mike, I'm sure you can agree with this. Mike Krzyzewski would sometimes get in a corner about faces. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
He didn't, when he wouldn't like his team's faces, or he wouldn't like faces. Mike Krzyzewski, I'm assuming, and Mike, please let me know if I'm wrong here. Mike Krzyzewski might not like Cade Klubnik's faces, because sometimes I think that Cade Klubnik looks like eyes get a little big, we're looking around. It is not fair. It is really not fair for me to make that kind of judgment. But when the winningest basketball coach in men's college basketball history is out here talking about faces, I'm going to at least think it matters a little.
Yeah.
And Cade's face grade in my scouts book is not very high.
Eli Manning had the worst faces, but did okay. So maybe, who knows? Maybe for quarterbacks doesn't matter as much, but I'm with you. Cade doesn't always look like it's all flowing. Clemson desperately needs it. Let me ask you this question. Chip Patterson, who joins us every Wednesday here on the Adam Gold Show. Who's better, Florida State or Miami?
I think Miami is more talented. I think Florida State's better coached.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair.
We said, is this
that's not hard.
I think, is this game Cristobal free?
Gosh.
No, absolutely. Talk about USF. Is this game out of the Cristobal zone? Absolutely not. But do I think that Miami's going to call midnight on USF Cinderella run? Yes. I just think they are a much, much more talented team. And it's like USF has hit so many explosive plays on teams that I don't think you're going to do this against Miami. I don't think USF's going to be able to block Miami.
That's where the line of scrimmage, this is where Miami should own the entire game.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I hope that happens this week, but Florida State this could be like the greatest Dow Jones 3-year run that we have ever seen in the sport. To go from, I'm going to kick out the bowl game against Georgia, which was unfair.
No. We call it 13-1. To go from 13-1
to 2-10
to 2-10. Yep. And then back up again.
I mean, we are, look, I'm older than you. I grew up, Miami, Florida State was the game of the year every year.
Yep.
Every year from the mid-'80s to like the Bowden era, right? Bowden. The guy looked like the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy. Howard Schnellenberger, sorry. Bowden versus Schnellenberger, then Jimmy Johnson, to an extent Dennis Erickson, right? That run against Bowden, those teams, first Saturday in October, every single year delivered. It would miss field goals, incredible plays. We could be looking at that.
October 4th is going to be incredible one way or another because Tallahassee was on fire in week 1 before the game even started.
Right.
And then you got that result. I mean, has been a cathartic release for Florida State fans that basically goes all the way back to Jordan Travis breaking his leg against North Alabama.
I still think they got screwed. I think they completely got screwed by the committee. That team should have still been in the playoff.
But even if they got to the playoff,
they would have.
We saw them in
regardless.
that ACC championship. I know, but I'm just saying that for a fan, when Jordan Travis's leg broke, you knew what was coming. You knew Brock Glenn wasn't going to be able to go out there and give Florida State a fair crack.
Then why'd the committee have him 5th?
I'm talking about the fan experience.
Right, I understand.
Like even before the ACC championship game, you just knew that what that team could accomplish was probably going to be off the table because that team could have won a national championship.
Yes, could have.
So that's where you go back and you think about how awful last year got, 17th place in the ACC. Then you come back and you've got this kind of response.
17th. Yeah.
17th place.
First to 17th.
First ever 17th place. And I'm very serious. I don't want to just look at this as I was dogging Mario Cristobal.
Right.
Gus Malzahn right now is out of his mind. He is so happy because Gus Malzahn is not having to play CEO.
Right.
Gus Malzahn is not having to be the first person in charge of all the different operations and the high school recruiting and he is doing one thing, and that is drawing up crazy football plays.
Yep, they're having a good time.
He doesn't even have to pretend to worry about defense, And also, how about Mike Norvell? That is like such a great statement of his maturity as a coach because Mike Norvell was the play caller.
Right.
And now he's saying like, you know what? I just need to go be the head coach. I'm going to bring in if we want to take this all the way back to when he was calling plays for Auburn, I would say Gus Malzahn's probably one of the top offensive mind play caller types of the last 15 years. You'd put him on a short list.
Yeah. I wonder if Dave Canales is listening to this. All right, I want to ask you one more thing before we have to say goodbye to Chip Patterson. Maybe two, but
does Dave call plays?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why they're always late. You were at the Duke Illinois game. Tell me I'm crazy. I know what the final score was.
For the record, I was not. But
you were okay. But you were following it because we were texting at the beginning of it.
Correct.
Okay. Am I crazy? If Duke doesn't play crazy eights on the first punt return of the second half after stopping Illinois 3 and out, if they don't play crazy eights there with two guys wearing number 8 on the punt return team, I think they win that game. I thought they were better than Illinois and trailed in the first half.
I think that
dramatic pause.
Yeah, because our conversation was about what good teams do.
Right.
Good teams don't have their best stuff on the road, but they just lean on you. And they just keep not making mistakes because football games are lost more than football games are won.
Right.
And Illinois didn't make a lot of mistakes. They didn't run the ball well. That's a
Nope.
huge concern moving forward.
Yeah.
But they cashed in when they had opportunities, and Duke didn't.
Yeah.
Duke had a lot of opportunities. That's why I don't think the two players were in the same jersey. I don't think that some of the stupid penalties. The thing that stands out to me was just Duke did not do a good job when it got good opportunities. And Illinois didn't get many opportunities. Like, Duke fans are right to be so frustrated coming out of that game. But you know what Illinois did with its opportunities?
Yeah.
Cashed them in.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. By the way, I love Duke's defense is awesome. They are fun to watch.
Great gap sound, fly to the ball. You're not going to move the football against this group. But, yeah, they did not do a good job of taking advantage of opportunities. And Illinois didn't make a lot of mistakes, but when they did, they didn't really have to pay for them.
No.
And so Illinois, on the other hand, cashed in every one of its opportunities, and that's why they end up winning.
All right. Is Brent Pry already putting his house on the market? Is he dragging the Christmas tree out to the front of the driveway on September 10th?
Well, the important thing about the Christmas tree lore is that Jimbo was technically going to somewhere, and unless Brent Pry knows what defensive coordinator jobs are open at this point in time, I don't know if he can at least identify his next location.
You can't look, as much as I know you have affinity for the Vanderbilt program, right? You can't allow 34-0 at Lane Stadium in the second half to get road graded by the last team in the SEC.
Counterpoint, when you are 1-12 in one-score games as a head coach, and it looks like it's going to be close, lose bad.
Okay, good point.
And you're no longer 1-13 in a one-score game.
That is silver lining to the greatest degree.
Here's what I'll give Virginia Tech, and this is something that they were already thin on the offensive line.
Right.
And right before the end of the first half, they lose 2 more. So they start the second half basically with their 8th and 9th offensive linemen in the game. And I don't care where you rank Vanderbilt. I would not have them last. But Vanderbilt's defensive front is going to crush the 9th best offensive lineman at a middle of the pack power conference program.
I don't know if they're middle of the pack anymore. It's a shame that it's Virginia Tech. It should be so much better. Chip Patterson, CBSSports.com, Cover 3 podcast moderator. Go check it out. Sir, thank you so much.
Sounds good. Y'all be well.
My gosh, Brent Pry, it's not working. All right, we'll stretch and wagers will be made. The easiest one, I've got an absolute automatic lead pipe cinch.
I went 3 for 3, by the way. I know. Guess how much money I put on it.
Next.
From the heels
Touchdown, Carolina.
to the canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you will not want to miss. New customers, bet $5,
Get $300 in bonus bets if you win that $5 bet. That's right. Pick something fun, easily winnable. Bet $5, unlock $300 worth of our money in bonus bets to use all across the world's greatest app. Build parlays, player props, whatever. The NFL is here. FanDuel.com/AGS, FanDuel.com/AGS. Download the FanDuel app today and get started with FanDuel and have some fun this season. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
Crisis Services helped me get back on track. They listened without judgment and made sure I had the support that I needed.
No matter what you're going through, there's someone who will listen. I wasn't alone, and neither are you.
Whatever your crisis, you have options.
Reaching out for help was the best decision I ever made. You can too.
It's okay to need support. No matter your crisis, you have options. Visit ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
This is Adam Gold.
The American Cornhole League. I don't know if you can wager on it. Let me go to FanDuel and find out if you can wager on it.
I think I read you can get a scholarship. Kids in high school can actually get scholarships for cornholing. Who knows? I don't know what the technical term
I'm just not going to say anything.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria's on the 1s and 2s. Next hour, Alec Lower covers NC State. Trinity Road Times has done great video breakdowns of State's offense especially. We'll talk about the game leading up to State at Wake Forest tomorrow night. So that's coming up in about 25 minutes or so. And we're going to do an NFL-ish wall of sound. But right now, It's time to bet and go stretch.
Okay, so this, our leader, Paul, brought this up to me, and I was like, whoa, people want to hear about this. So Kevin Keatts, we haven't talked about him in a while.
Right.
He is actually selling his home in Cary now.
Right.
Actually, I should say mansion, because
Sure.
I've looked at these pictures, and woo, buddy,
I have not seen it.
It is not a house. It is a whole establishment. So if you're interested and you're curious about what this home is, it's in McGregor Downs community, wherever that's at. It is 7,950 square feet.
It's big.
Sits on almost an acre, 0.71 acre. And
Almost an acre.
Almost an acre.
For 8,000 square feet?
Yep.
He doesn't want to mow a lawn.
Nope. He doesn't need to because everything's brick. So it also, the realtor put on here, it is meticulously designed for both elegance and function. This residence blends timeless craftsmanship with modern comforts across 3 beautiful levels. That's what it says.
8,000 square feet, unless like 5,000 square feet of that is a basketball court.
I know.
I know his son was a pretty good youth soccer player.
Yeah.
So we played against them a few times.
Well, there's plenty of that. This also includes, there's a whole outdoor setup where there's stones everywhere. There's a pool. There's a hot tub. They have a bonus room that's got a game room. I mean, it's just literally everything that you could want. And it's only going to cost you potentially $3.4 million. So that's all.
Seems like a bargain, honestly, for 8,000 square feet in Cary.
Just on my credit card. So, yeah. So there you go. If you're in Cary and you want to live in Kevin Keatts' mansion, it's up for sale now. So maybe we could win that kind of money with our bets.
Yeah, I don't think
Place
so.
your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
You'll never do it if you don't back yourself.
I know. I didn't put one dime on it. I took the Cubs in the over. Got it. Took Washington Nationals. Got it. Rays in the over. Got that one. What am I doing?
Oh, gosh.
And all I have to show for it is units. So.
Unreal. All right, you're up.
So, sticking with it. Rizzo news today. Hopefully the Cubs get a win, even though he's not with them anymore. So give me the Cubs for the sweep against the Braves. Well, not the sweep. Win the series, I should say, against the Braves. They're plus 150. So please and thank
it's
you.
amazing that number is that high.
I know.
Chris Sale is going for Atlanta tonight. So, by the way, I also like the Cubs. Plus under 8. It's probably 330 at this point. But here's your automatic cash this now.
Oh.
Philadelphia, home to the Mets tonight. That was the only bet I won yesterday. Philadelphia beating the Mets. Philadelphia, home to the Mets. They got Sanchez pitching. He's wipeout. Philly, minus 1.5. Over 7.5. Plus 246. Plus, I mentioned Kyle Schwarber, your friend. First National League player to get 50 home runs.
Yep.
Homers today, anytime, is 350. But how about first plate appearance, plus 1,100? Enjoy.
Talking sports, so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And we're going to prove it because new customers can bet $5, win that bet, and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right, $300 of their money to do what you want with. It's always better to play with somebody else's money. By the way, tomorrow night, Washington at Green Bay. Very cool game. Could be a lot of offense, although Green Bay's defense looks very good. Packers just a 3.5-point favorite in the game. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. Let's get ready for week 2 of the NFL. See how everybody improves. FanDuel,
21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Van, we have a mission, and the mission is clear. It's time to mobilize thousands.
I'm ready, Shelley. Let's do this. The Walk for Hope and Festival is Sunday, October 12th at the Angus Barn. The 5K walk goes through beautiful Umstead Park, followed by a festival with live music from the Band of Oz, incredible food, and family fun, all to raise money for mental illness research.
Every single step makes a difference.
This isn't just a walk, it's a mission. Sign up now at walkforhope.com.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
When it comes to mixing drugs, you may think you have a safe approach, but the bottom line is, mixing drugs is never safe. It can cause serious health problems like a heart attack or brain damage. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $78 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.76 to 4.98. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's 1 week. We're gonna overreact, but if you're banking on the Panthers being a fun watch and/or winning the division, it's probably not the season for you. My buddy Travis Evans sent a meme to the group chat today. It was like your head hurts. It's like a red circle on your head. It's and then like a red circle on your stomach for like stomach aches, and then it was whole body is red. It was watching the Panthers play football.
It's not good. It was.
It's not good.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. That was Will Brinson from Monday. Every Monday on the program, we talk NFL with Will. Every Wednesday, we talk college football, mostly. Occasional basketball. As we get into the basketball season, we'll definitely talk hoops and Chip. But also, we work in golf, and Chip and I will geek out on golf, especially with the Ryder Cup coming up.
Yeah, I get it.
I think it's 2 weeks from this week is Ryder Cup week. So, advanced warning, there will be golf content that week. It's my favorite sporting event on the earth.
Oh.
The Ryder Cup.
Okay, nice.
Actually, I meant to talk about that with Evan Cohen, but we spent too much time talking about bread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happened. It's on our YouTube if you missed it. You could see the empty studio, but it's there.
Bread conversation with Evan Cohen.
I love having him on. And he's always so polite afterward, too. He always texts me and was like, thanks again.
Evan is tremendous. I feel like I grew up with Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Not him specifically, but people like Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evan and I would have hung out.
Yeah.
as elementary, high school students.
I know. I would love to hang out with him now. He's talked about having like cookouts and stuff from Unsportsmanlike on their show. He's talked about like hosting a cookout or whatever before. I bet that's fun. That's probably really fun.
Evan's great.
Speaking of mansions, he probably has one.
You know what? I'm going to say this, I believe this to be true. I think he lives modestly.
Well, I have heard them mention that he has a gate. So I feel like
at the house,
at his house. So I feel like if you have a gate, there are different levels of gates, but
we're going to put one in front of ours, but it's mostly so the horses don't escape.
Right.
Again. All right, we should do Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
Alec Lower, Trinity Road Time, is going to join us in just a little bit. All right, let's get to the Wall of Sound. And I mentioned it was going to be very NFL-centric, so let's get to it. So Chris Long was a guest, I believe, on the Kevin Clark That's Football podcast. I know they air that as a show, I think, also on ESPN2. And the question was asked of Chris Long, and this might have been somewhere else, but it was on ESPN. Should we be concerned about the 0-1 Chiefs, who, by the way, do host the Eagles on Sunday?
Not the yelling at each other part. I mean, that's part of being on a great defense. When I got to New England and, I was a veteran player, had my highs in the league, and I'll never forget, like, Dante Hightower yelling at me for the first time. And I was like, man, after I dusted myself off and I was like, okay, I just have to do that better next time. I was like, I love this younger guy kind of taking charge of the huddle. And I think that's leadership. It's championship DNA. This team has been places before. So, a heated exchange that gets caught on camera is not a big deal. Like we saw that with Andy Reid and Travis Kelce before, and obviously totally different situations. But this group is fine from that standpoint. The thing that should raise alarms for Chiefs fans is more just the way they're playing defense right now.
Look, I asked Evan Cohen yesterday, best team in the NFL, and he still went with the Chiefs. And I get it. It's because he's got, Tom Brady flashbacks, which all justifiable. So count the Chiefs out at your own peril. And I am not counting them out. The question was, who's the best team in the league? And it is, honestly, it's not blind faith, but it's faith that would lead you to say the Chiefs. Because injuries, lack of weapons, all of that have me doubting the Chiefs. I haven't looked at week 2 NFL lines yet. Why I haven't, I don't know, but I haven't. My guess is that they are a very small favorite because they're at home, but a very small favorite is my guess. I wouldn't be completely shocked if they were the underdog, but I think they're a very small favorite. All right. We saw Josh Allen do Josh Allen things Sunday night against the Baltimore Ravens. Chris Canty on Allen.
Being named MVP seems to have given him more confidence, and right now, there ain't a quarterback in the league that I'm taking before Josh Patrick Allen. Not one. Not right now. Not today. If I got to win a game today, there ain't one quarterback I'm taking ahead of that dude. Not one. He won MVP, took it to another level this year.
Well, this year is one game, and I would say that Josh Allen didn't do anything in game 1 that he didn't do in most of the 17 games he played last year. So it really is business as usual. We just saw it on an enormous stage against a team that I still believe is better than them. Top 5, bottom 5 yesterday. I had Baltimore ranked ahead of Buffalo. I understand. We saw the game. I saw the game. And that's why I still think Baltimore's better. But they're probably going to have to win that game in Buffalo at the end of the year. At some point, they'll likely have to go through each other unless one of them finishes first and the other finishes second or third in the conference, which means that it wouldn't happen until the championship game. So, yeah, it's going to be – I want to see that game again. By the way, Philadelphia is a 1.5-point favorite in Kansas City.
Okay.
How about that?
Interesting.
All right. I'm not sure people remember this, but right before the end of the preseason, before we started playing football, the Dallas Cowboys traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. They got 2 first-round picks, right? There were some other things involved, but basically it was the first and a second, right? It wasn't even 2 first-round picks. I don't know I don't remember what it was. It wasn't enough for the best defensive player in football, arguably. Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons. I kind of dig Micah Parsons. Anyway, Jerry Jones said many teams called about the trade.
We understand what kind of player Micah is. He's an outstanding player, great player. He's a great player. But the principle specifically is with our system the way we have it today, if we can get 4, 5, 6 players for one player, that's better for our opportunity to win the thing. And that's what it was about. It didn't surprise me. We had others call. The closer we got to the time we traded Micah, the more the phone started ringing.
Yeah, they got 2 future firsts and Kenny Clark.
You didn't get 4, 5, 6 players.
No.
Dude! Can somebody proofread what Jerry's going to say before Jerry says it?
Yeah. I'm just glad he called him Micah, too, and not Michael.
Right.
Because he's done that a few times. I don't know if anyone's called that.
I mean, there has to be, Cowboys fans, somebody's got to be there to invoke the 25th Amendment and take the keys away from Jerry.
Here's the rice pudding.
Unbelievable. 4, 5, 6 players. You gave up. I don't care who they draft with the 2 draft picks the Packers gave them. They gave up. If you combined all of those players, they won't be Micah Parsons. This could be our Herschel Walker trade. Yeah, you got 5 picks. Now you got more than that. They got 6 picks and players. Gosh, so dumb. But Jerry says they didn't break any rules.
There is no violation, period. I have all the authority in the world, and the player has all the authority in the world to negotiate directly with me. There is no equivocation there. Can I work through an agent or an attorney? An attorney can do the very same thing. Do it all the time. It usually ends up a little of both on a pretty high-profile player. But there is no violation. I have every right. Can you imagine if you didn't have the right when you're the one that decides whether to trade him or not? How could you not have the right? I will 100 times the fine or the penalty. I will 100 times it if I were ever assessed on anything I did with Micah relative to the communication or non-communication with an agent. I'll 100 times it and give it to the Salvation Army.
It's almost pointless to break down everything that Jerry said. Have they been accused, maybe by the agent, of circumventing rules? I mean, it's circumventing norms. Yeah, you can negotiate with the player, and the player. Look, the Ravens negotiated with Lamar Jackson because he didn't have an agent. I think it was Lamar's mom. I mean, you can negotiate with whoever you want.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's the norm.
Right.
Jerry.
I know.
Gosh.
I know.
But honestly, as a neutral NFL fan, I enjoy how dysfunctional the Cowboys are. I really do. I don't like them. So it's fun to see how absolutely dysfunctional they operate. Organizations win. We'll always remember that. It starts from the top. There's a reason the Eagles are well run. Jeffrey Lurie knows how to be an owner. Hires the right people like a real general manager. Anyway, can NC State grow comfortable acting as the ACC's representative of Big 12 football? Not Big 10 football. We don't want that. Big 12 football. We'll talk to Alec Lower about that from Trinity Road Times next.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's time for our 2 o'clock keyword in our Sin City Skateaway. Sponsored by Park MGM Las Vegas, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, Buffalo Brothers, and Newcomb & Company. This hour's word is gold. Text GOLD to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a trip for two to Las Vegas and see Carolina play hockey against the Las Vegas Golden Knights next month. Again, this hour's word is gold. Good luck from 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
So we finally have football officially back. Hockey is right around the corner, and we are about to head into playoff baseball season. But guess what? There's always time for some motorcycle therapy. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here for Law Tigers, and not only do we have our pick of sports these days, but we are also in what I personally believe is the best time to ride. Fall is bringing cooler temps and beautiful sights, but while you're enjoying Mother Nature, make sure to always be aware of your surroundings. Motorcycles can be difficult to spot sometimes, especially if people aren't paying attention. So if you are ever in a wreck on your motorcycle, don't call your insurance company, call Law Tigers first. At Law Tigers, they're just like us. They're riders too, so they get it. They know what it's like to go through an accident. They know the value of your bike, your gear, and the investment that you've made. So at Law Tigers, case evaluations are always free, and you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
For more than 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have honored over 200 student athletes that are making a difference on their team and in their community. If you are a teacher, parent, coach, or guardian, nominate your scholar athlete today. We will select one winner a month to be featured on 99.9 The Fan and on WRAL News Plus. To nominate a winner, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Congrats to last year's winners.
Ansley Ayers, Brianna McMillan, Samayan Jones, Kristen Norton, Lexi Taylor, EJ Reed, Isabel Woke, Nathan Fife, Rachel Lambert.
This award is more than a celebration of exceptional athletes. It's also a celebration of the schools and the communities that help them grow into the incredible leaders that we like to celebrate.
It means a lot to me to just be able to be recognized in such a wide area with so many amazing athletes. So I just feel great to feel like someone's seeing all the hard work that I've been putting into my sport and my academics. So I'm very grateful for it.
It means a lot to me because my parents, they want me to do well and make it in life. So this is for them. I try to work hard in the classroom and on the court for them and do my best.
I'm so thankful for my coaches and my teammates and my parents who have just made this possible.
Congratulations to all of our Coastal Credit Union Scholar Athletes of the Month. If you want to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Discover the value of exceptional skincare during the open house at Central Dermatology Center in Chapel Hill this Friday from 9 to 5. Tour our newly renovated facility and enjoy open house savings to stock up on exclusive products and treatments like Botox and laser hair removal. Meet our expert team for quick consultations, chat with product reps, try samples, enjoy free refreshments, gift bags, and more. Plus, special bundle purchases support the Orange County Rape Crisis Center. We'll see you at 2238 Nelson Highway, Suite 300.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer.
Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
This is Adam Gold.
So Mike Vrabel, the coach of the New England Patriots, they asked him about birthday cake, and he said there was only one cake qualified for his birthday cake.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to guess what that is?
Is it vanilla?
No.
Oh.
Carrot.
I love him even more.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. I will lead into this segment. Remember, we had Ryan McGee on yesterday. Super entertaining conversation. And I asked him, because he does the bottom 10 column for ESPN.com. And I asked him, because we had a bottom 10 matchup last week of Charlotte versus UNC. UNC won the game 20-3. I asked him, it wasn't all that impressive. Did UNC stay in the bottom 10? And he said, you'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out. The column is up. And they are not in the bottom 10.
Oh.
Yes, they are not. Charlotte, however, remains. With that, a team that is not, and it will never be in the bottom 10, NC State, as we bring in Alec Lower, Trinity Road Times. I said a few times already today, you do, great video breakdown of the games, looking at it ways in depth that I can't, so I appreciate that. So I appreciate your time. Let's dig into what we loved about the win over Virginia. I was going to say Virginia Tech. That's coming up soon. But I said earlier, C.J. Bailey, I've kind of thought that, in the future we could be talking all ACC. In the future, that might be this year. He looks really, really good. Your thoughts on what we've seen from C.J.?
Yeah, it's been a lot of improvement since last season. I think coming out of last season, the two things that stood out to me that you wanted to see the most growth from were really just comfort as a pocket passer, comfort, reading a peer progression play, and then accuracy down the field. When he first started in his first game against Clemson last year and then through some of his early games, he didn't put a lot of air under his deep ball. There was a tendency to leave the ball short and inside. When you have a quarterback that has inside leverage, that's not where you want that ball to go. In the ECU game, throwing the ball down the field, he was really accurate. And then in this Virginia game, it looked like he had taken a whole nother step from just like a comfort level in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, moving within the pocket instead of, exiting it out the back for no reason type of stuff.
Yeah.
Not as much drift, stuff like that. So definitely some growth.
Alec Lower, Trinity Road Times, is joining us here at Alec Lower on Twitter. Here's the other thing. I'll go back to last year. And I don't have data in front of me to prove this, so this is just my observations trying to remember. He struggled early in most games and looked different in the second half and late and into the fourth quarter in those games, which leads me to believe that it was in many ways nerves, just getting used to the whole thing. And it almost looks like the progression, the getting comfortable, allows him to enter the game already settled and with a level of confidence that would belie all of these things you're seeing.
Yeah, that's what Virginia looked like to me. He looked ready to go in that game. We talked about it last year when he came in. You knew you had a talented kid here, right? He had a big arm. The one thing that we were looking for from last season was just growth. They don't want to throw too many expectations on a true freshman who was thrown into his first start in Death Valley or anything like that. But yeah, just growth, just keep getting better. And at the end of the season, what we were saying was, Was he great as a freshman? But did he clearly get better as the year went on through UNC, through the bowl game? He did, and that gave you a reason to believe you might see a next level quarterback this season.
All right, I've enjoyed him through 2 games, and I was trying to think, who are the quarterbacks in the ACC right now that you definitely say, all right, he's better than CJ? In terms of how they have performed, I mean, Castellanos at Florida State's been great. Carson Beck has been great. I know there were a bunch of turnovers from Duke, most of them fumbles, but Darian Mintz has been great. Like, I don't know that anybody's been dramatically better, certainly not Cade Klubnik, than C.J. Bailey. So again, that's why I say that it's possible that this is that like the future is now for Bailey when it comes to accolades, and he could take. I think he could take the Wolfpack maybe a little bit further than they thought they would go this year, or that fans thought they would go. Let me just ask you about the mindset maybe of Dave Doran here, because it looks to me early on that they're going to have to win a bunch of games like you would win in the Big 12. You think they can do that? You think Dave can allow himself to just let the offense flow, knowing that they're going to have to cover for a defense that is, we'll just say, not yet where they want it to be?
I think the answer is yes. I mean, I think he's proven that through 2 games here. You know, the ECU game, I thought State was pretty hard on the gas most of the game offensively, even into the fourth quarter with the lead. They got the ball back. They actually only had 2 possessions in the fourth quarter of that game, but the first one they ran a double post concept, which was a 7-man protection, a designed shot down the field, and then they got in the red zone and they ran 4 verts like 3 times in a row. Like they are all gas right now on the offense, and you get the lead against Virginia in the fourth quarter. You see them go for it on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
You see them throw the ball out of their own end zone on 3rd and 9. Like there is an understanding right now that when you place your bets on what you're good at, as Dave Doran, it's the offense right now, and that's definitely a switch from some of those Tony Gibson defenses. But the play calling certainly points to that, that is who they want to be as long as they need to be that.
Was it a concern for you? Alec Lower from Trinity Road Times is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Was it a concern for you that they ran the ball so poorly against ECU? They did turn around and run it really effectively against Virginia, which is a little bit of a surprise. But was it a concern for you coming out of ECU?
Yeah, it was a huge concern. That was one of the bases for the belief that State could be a good team this year was they're going to have that offense, right? It's going to have to be explosive because we just talked about, right, the defensive question marks that showed up in the Virginia game. To do that, right, you really needed to be 2-dimensional. And State was at its best last year when it was willing to be 2-dimensional, right? So it got away from running the ball way too much last year. And what I wanted to see them run the ball first and set up play action shots, which I think Bailey was better at when they got into that kind of philosophy last season. So you come out against ECU and they are struggling, and it was concerning. A question mark starts to become like, can this offense really be 2-dimensional? I want to give a shout out to Jalen Grant at center because he struggled against ECU and took a huge step forward, I felt like, against Virginia. And I think you got more of what you were expecting from Jacarius Peak, from Anthony Carter on the left side, and it created a 2-dimensional offense for them. They ran a lot of play action. They had a lot of plays off of plays, and they were pretty explosive in the end.
They were very explosive. They have so many playmakers. It is that's why I'm thinking in my mind we could see Big 12 style offense from them if they want to do it. Whether it's Smothers out of the backfield, who is dynamite, but Grimes, Rogers, Hoffman as a freshman who didn't play a huge role against Virginia but was awesome against ECU. They haven't even really unlocked Justin Jolie yet. I'm waiting for that to enter the chat. He's been good, but he hasn't been, the player. Like, I think he's one of the best tight ends in the country. So their offense is still kind of coming around. Let me ask you about defense, because I think they have pieces that should make up at least a good defense. We haven't seen it yet. Is it just getting used to a new system? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think there's a cap talent-wise on this particular defense. There's a couple guys that I've been surprised by. Very impressed with Keon Sloan and Sebastian Harsh, who were spring portal pickups, which is pretty rare to have great players come out of the spring transfer portal. And so those guys have been good. I'm expecting Brandon Cleveland to settle down, and I think State can be a decent run defense. I didn't think they had huge consistent issues against Virginia. They just had a couple sequences where they missed, 3 tackles within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, things like that. But my concern is more on the back end. I see a lot of issues back there. They played a decent amount of man coverage in this game, and they really struggled to navigate traffic. Virginia just sat there and just hammered the mesh rail button about 50 times in a row and picked up about 12 yards every time they ran the play. And so, there's some youth back there too. I think you get some missed assignments. You got some inability to navigate traffic, to communicate things. So that's what I'm looking at. That's going to be the focus, I think, this week in practice going into tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big game against Wake Forest. Other than the fact that Wake's been good, how do fans process 6-6 against Wake in the Dave Doran era?
Well, you know how Wake is to NC State, right? I mean, they are a bugaboo almost every single year. It seems like a lot of times when State is good, they lose this game. So I think this game has a lot of intrinsic meaning to the fan base now, just because of the way things have been. And then last year, obviously, was when the season kind of broke. For the last time was in that game. So I don't think 6-6 against Wake is where you want to be over the long term. And I think the hope is obviously that can get one tomorrow in Winston-Salem, get 2 in a row, and feel like that aura around that place may have lifted on the program.
Yeah, I think the longest each team has won 3 in a row, right, in the series. In the beginning of the Doran era, they lost the first one, won the next 3, and then they lost the next 3, and it's basically been alternating, although the Wolfpack did win back-to-back years. The only other time it was on a Thursday night was pre-pandemic, and Wake won, but that was in Raleigh. Final thing, also, as I said, Wake's been pretty good. Wake hasn't been bad in this stretch. They have been a very difficult team for anybody to beat. So 6-6 isn't that bad. Final thing for Alec Lower, Trinity Road Times. If you get this one, Duke, I think Duke's still, they might be the best team in the Triangle for all we know. I know they lost to Illinois. But there's the possibility of State being 6-0 heading to South Bend. So my question is, do you or anybody else allow yourselves to think about this? Or do you drive yourself crazy?
Probably drive yourself crazy thinking about it. I mean, they're 2-0 right now. They're 2-0 in 2 one-possession games, though. What I always say about this is, you're going to win over any large stretch between 40 and 60% of your one-possession games. Right. So there's a lot of variability in that. And so I think if State's seriously going to be in a position like that, they will have to not play 4 more one-possession games before that.
Right.
So, looking for that growth. But Duke, I agree with you. I think Duke, at least for now, is probably the best team in the Triangle. I think that Illinois game was probably more competitive than the score indicated. There were some mistakes that kind of pushed that to a 26-point deficit. Yeah. But it's certainly there. It's certainly there.
It is. And I know how State fans will hate hearing me say that, but it's a reality. The schedule is the schedule, and I don't think anybody thought Virginia Tech would be this much of a train wreck, but they are at this point. So, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. Alec Lower, Trinity Road Times, at Alec Lower on Twitter. I thank you very much, man. Enjoy the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, when we come back, so and I'm just going to deal with the 3 local schools. The ACC's conference men's basketball schedules were released yesterday. And these are things that I have talked about before, but we saw the schedules, and I have thoughts, not just on the 3 locals, but just the concept in general. We'll hit that next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Turning 65 soon, navigating Medicare can be overwhelming and confusing, but you're not alone. The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program can help. SHIP counselors can help you understand Medicare benefits to make your best choices. Visit ncship.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
When life feels overwhelming, knowing where to turn can make all the difference.
That's why crisis services are here for anyone at any time, no judgment.
If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health, substance use, or feeling lost,
crisis services are here for you 24/7.
Compassionate, low, or no-cost services.
Whatever your crisis, you always have options. Find the support that's right for you.
Visit ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
As a school nurse, I feel like we're really that contact for the schools between the Department of Public Health and what goes on in the school system.
The face of the Department of Public Health in our school is our nurse, Nurse Emma. All the communication that she was receiving and direction she was receiving, she made sure to communicate with us and be a wonderful partner with us.
These kids need their routines.
NC Public Health. Everywhere, every day, everyone.
One Adam.
Gold.
One Adam.
Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself?
Because that, I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgery of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
Oh, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. That's Victoria. Have we had a theme in any of our bump music today? A concert we're going to?
No, just kind of throwing things back. I will be at a concert tomorrow, however.
Who are we going to see?
Tomorrow is the Pantera one.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yes. Where is that?
That should be at Walnut Coastal Credit Union,
Okay.
whatever they're calling it these days.
Oh, it should be a nice night for a concert, too.
So knock on wood. I know this little whatever's coming through here. Hopefully it's just cooling stuff down.
Are you lawn seats?
Yes.
All right.
Just in the lawn. It's fine. Stretch out.
I think lawn is the best place.
Yeah.
For,
I know.
Sound is good.
My bubble, put a blanket out so you got a little bubble. At least if people recognize that that's what a blanket's for.
I think the last time I was in lawn seats at a place like that was, this goes back a long time. It was Dave Matthews.
Oh,
at
gosh.
Walnut Creek.
Yeah, you don't have room for bubbles.
No
there.
bubble. No bubble. Not to mention there's a very, like a lot of long, borderline dangerous stories that came out of that night, but we'll just move on.
Yeah.
We won't revisit that at all.
Oh, that's not
I tell that story at parties, which I don't go to anymore.
Oh, man.
Real quick, before we get into some thoughts on ACC basketball. We talked about NC State and the win over Virginia, the Big 12 football games that I think they're going to have to play. I would push back a little bit on what Alex said about we saw that against ECU, the fact that Dave just let it rip. I thought their play calling in situations where they were almost gifted points was too conservative, which is why I'm still wondering if he'll let it go. Obviously, that did happen against Virginia. I meant to mention this the other day, but I didn't. Jamari Taylor, the running back for Virginia, who had 150 of UVA's 257 rushing yards. He's a transfer from Central.
Oh.
He was the guy that ECU was complaining about, that Virginia Tech was on the sideline recruiting him. He ended up going to UVA, not Virginia Tech. So good for Jamari Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan. All right, before we get to a rewind, the Atlantic Coast Conference announced their conference basketball schedules, and all the schools released them. And I just want to really handle the three local. I know Wake's local too, but the three main schools that where we are here in the Triangle: Duke, State, Carolina. Conference decided to go from 20 to 18 games in basketball, which good. 20 games didn't do anybody any good. It didn't get you more teams into the tournament. I don't know why anybody thought it would get you more teams into the tournament, because it's an automatic win and an automatic loss, last I checked. Guaranteeing yourself a 500 record in those two games doesn't make any sense to me. And it doesn't get you to playing a full round robin, which is apparently like the goal for so many old heads. We have 18 basketball schools in the league. We physically cannot play a true round robin. So why try? Why try to get closer to it? So the league has shrunk the conference schedules back to 18. I would suggest 16, the better number. But that's just me. And what they have done is that they have allowed each school to play two teams twice. One of them, I'm sure, will be a permanent two-time member or two-time opponent. And for Duke and Carolina, that's one. For State, it will be Wake, a traditional game. Okay. But there's another. And so for UNC this year, they will play Duke and Syracuse twice each. They will miss Boston College. Nobody is going to miss that game, except if BC was going to host that game. Those are ticket sales. But so UNC will play Duke twice and Syracuse twice. State will play Wake twice and UVA twice. Both of those, by the way, will be conference games. Ha 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 ha. But they will not play Cal. Again, nobody is going to miss that game. Before I get to Duke, explain to me like I'm 5 why the second two-time game for both Carolina and State can't be each other. What are we doing? I'll circle back to that. Duke plays the Heels and Louisville twice. They do not play Miami this year, which in most years I would go, no big deal, although Miami has been a thorn in Duke's side in the recent past, not lately. But this year would have been a good time to play Miami because Jay Lucas, year one, who left Duke midstream this year to become the head coach at Miami. I'm not harboring any ill will, and I know the Duke program doesn't either. But it would have been cool to see those two teams play based on how close John and Jay are. Anyway, now back to the State-Carolina thing. And one quick thing about Duke's two-time partners. Obviously, Carolina's always going to be a part of it. But part of me I'm going to give the league the benefit of the doubt and saying Louisville could very well be I was going to say the third best team in the league. They could very well be the best team in the league. And to have Duke have 4 games against Duke, against Carolina and Louisville, on top of their already ridiculous non-conference schedule? Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Now, so I put that out on Twitter, and Neil asks me this question. And before you react to it, think about it. Do most ACC fans really care about NC State versus UNC? We know they don't nationally. All right. My initial reaction was, what do you mean they don't care? Here's the thing. It's not football. And I'm not sure that the more I didn't respond right away. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, not only do most ACC fans not care about UNC versus NC State, I would argue that aside from Duke UNC, I'm not sure there is another basketball game in the entirety of the schedule, apart from maybe Cal Stanford, that and actually definitely not Cal Stanford, that ACC fans would care about, unless it involves their team. I would push back. I think the problem is that State has been nothing more than a speed bump for UNC over the last 20 years. It has been an unfair fight, except in the Matt Doherty era. It has been one-way traffic, that matchup. But back in the day, and UNC legend Jimmy Black told me this a long time ago, when he played at UNC, which coincided, he was the point guard of the national championship team in '82. That was the better game. That was the bigger game. Not that the Duke-UNC rivalry doesn't go back 60-some years, because it does. But in the 70s and early 80s, Duke State was the better game. So I actually think there's a little bit more of a national pull if NC State were to return to being good. And I do believe that Will Wade is doing that. We'll find out when they toss the ball up.
He's at least bringing some spice, that's for sure.
I love everything about what Will Wade is doing, including there's a promo running about the schedule, the non-conference schedule. There are a lot of losable games in the non-conference schedule. So the answer to that is, to an extent, yes, ACC fans do care. But here's the point I would like to make, whether it's to Jim Phillips or anybody else that has some sway over this. You know who really cares? State's fans and Carolina's fans. Carolina fans might joke about it. And frankly, if you're a Carolina fan, your joke is, sure, let's play them twice every year. 2 easy W's.
Yeah.
That's the joke, which I think will not happen going forward,
right,
as long as Will Wade is the coach. But the fan bases in general, 2 of the biggest fan bases in the league, do care.
I would even say Duke just a little bit, so then they can throw their 2 cents in too, just from the side.
No, they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a 3-headed monster.
Yeah.
So I get State and Duke not playing twice every year in basketball. I get it. They should play in football, but I get it, not in basketball. But I don't understand if you're going to have 2, home and home matchups between each school, there's no excuse for State not playing Carolina twice. There's no excuse to avoid that. Look, I like the fact that State's playing Virginia. That's a rivalry of sorts, right? You go back to the 80s, State and Virginia, the Ralph Sampson era teams were awesome. And Carolina playing Syracuse twice. I don't know how good Syracuse is going to be. I really don't. They might be really good. They might not be. They haven't been all that good lately. But it's a good matchup in name. Carolina playing Syracuse, a traditional power, even though they haven't been great the last 5 or so years. Carolina playing Syracuse is a good matchup, good TV, draw. But Carolina State, that's got to be run back twice. We got to see that twice a year. And in basketball, there aren't as many musts. There just aren't. And when you have them, you got to use them. I would argue that you should have more of them, not less of them, and have more teams, not just one, that you miss on your schedule. We don't seem to have a problem with not playing half of the league in football. I realize logistics say you can't play more than half the league in football. We have 17 football teams, and you're only playing 8. So everybody is playing less than half the league. But we seem to make peace with that. Even if you go to 9, you're missing out on the other 8. We've made peace with that. We should be able to make peace in basketball with the idea that you're only going to play, let's just say, 14, 13 of the other teams. So we can get more of the matchups. What have I said about football? I say the same thing about basketball. Schedules should be made for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. Television, fans. Ain't a single State fan going to lose sleep over not seeing Cal this year. Heck, if they didn't see Pitt, they wouldn't care. If they didn't see Boston College, they wouldn't care. SMU, don't care. But it matters to them that they only get 1 game against Carolina. And I think vice versa. We got to do better. We got to do better than that. All right, we have enough time for rewind. All right, Kyle Bailey, this was a fun conversation earlier today. And for those of you listening in Charlotte, Kyle probably said all these things on his own radio show from 3 to 6. We're on right after it. So if you stuck around, by all means. So I asked him about our poll question. Our poll question the other day was biggest issue in the Panthers' loss in Jacksonville. Bryce, the defense, the head coach, or other was a cop-out. Most people said Bryce. The head coach and the defense were pretty close in our, I don't know how many hundred people responded to it. So I asked Kyle what his answer to that poll question would be.
That poll's wild to me because I think it should go largely in reverse order. I think that the coaching staff did not have that team prepared to play. They were unprepared, disorganized. I thought the defense was atrocious. More stats coming out this morning that I've seen about the Jacksonville offensive line being damn near perfect on Sunday because the Panthers and all that money they spent on the defensive front could muster absolutely zero pass rush, zero sacks on the day. And I thought Bryce, while not good, was light years better than he was. And this was not last year's opener against the Saints where he contributed nothing and, looked lost and helpless. Bryce made some great throws on Sunday. Now, he ruined it all by turning the football over. There's no question about that. But I would go in reverse order. I start with the head coach, then I go to the defense, and then I go to Bryce.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. And I was listening to Dave Canales' coach's show. The only person he called out, by the way, specifically was Bryce, which I'm never going to not believe that Canales doesn't really like Bryce Young. I thought he treated him poorly last year. I thought he set him up to fail last year. And I want to see him let Bryce go this year. Not like leave the team, but let him play. And I feel like he's trying to hold him back. Everyone, but let me get to the defense real quick. We have time for this? Barely. Look, Canales talked about, we missed the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and therefore we got a 70-yard run. Or other, 15, 20-yard runs. Where's the gang tackling? I watched other games. And, there were missed tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Some guy would avoid a loss of 2 and end up with a gain of 1. Did we ever see that? That's my problem.
Oh, yeah. No, they weren't just missing tackles. They were out of position, to your point. And listen, I'll point out, as you did a moment ago, 71 of the 200 rushing yards they allowed came on one play. That's a real thing. But here's an additional stat for you, which I'm sure you've probably seen. It's not just the 7 straight games of 200-plus rushing yards allowed, which is a war crime in the NFL. But in 35 games of Ejiro Evero as defensive coordinator, 26 of those 35 games, his defenses have given up at least 120 rushing yards. 26 of 35 games. So this is their identity now. This is who they are. And so he can point to it and say, we missed tackles. Well, of course you did, but you do that professionally now. We become accustomed to that, and we were told, and some of us even were willing to, accept, hey, you had no personnel last year. Guys were hurt. It already wasn't a very talented defense. Dan Morgan said, I've got to get EJ some players, and he was right. Well, now they've gotten him some players, and the result in week 1 anyway looked to be the exact same. And so you said it, 6 total quarterback pressures, which is just abysmal. And then, not to change the subject, but on the flip side, on the offensive line with Icky out, Josh Nijman gave up 6 pressures himself at the left tackle position. So up front, I don't want to paint too broadly because Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis and Taylor Moton, 3 of the 5 offensive linemen graded out really well, but they just had way too many problems along the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football.
Yep. Real quick before we get out of here. Didn't I tease a brand new segment of the show?
Yeah, we ran out of time.
No, I screwed that up. So tomorrow we will, and we'll do it in the first part of the show. Tomorrow we will do stock market style, like confidence in the NFL. I'll explain the rules again tomorrow. I explained them earlier today. They're not that complicated, but we'll do it again tomorrow. Promise. So, and if we do it at the beginning of the show, I won't forget when we get to the end of the show. NFL week and college week starts tomorrow. Bye, Victoria. Thank you.
From the heels,
touchdown, Carolina,
to the canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760. Loan Pronto.